Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, with...
Sage.
Cat.
Anthony.
Colin.
Why don't you introduce us anymore?
Because I'll do it at some point, but I
I feel like I'm in 5th grade and like she's taking attendance. Colin, Anthony.
I mean,
Present.
we could just come up with like one. That way, I don't have to keep thinking of.
Well, Mike,
every
I
now
kind of
and then.
preferred it when you did like Sage. I can't think of one. I can't think of one.
So
It was
you know,
something
now we don't have to
bad.
think
You
about
have a
it.
week and you have a notepad on your phone. You could just
You
like
really do. Yeah.
Sage. Let me think of Sage. Okay.
Well,
cat,
you know, I'm busy doing a bunch
girl.
of things.
Are
No,
you?
that's
Sure.
not
Unlike
acceptable.
deleting footage.
What did you say the last
Oh.
time? Was it like? What did you? It was like the Asian.
You said you weren't
Oh,
gonna bring
Asian
it up.
Yeah, I know.
frustration.
Asian frustration. I'm like Asian sensation, dude. It was right there.
Well, I
It was
couldn't,
on
I
the
couldn't
wall.
do it the next week. Then it was like,
and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Asian
but-
persuasion.
you know, whatever.
no.
Anyway.
It's
Oh,
too far
that
gone.
feels like you're kind of racist
How
in
many
the
episodes
50s.
ago was that?
I don't even know.
That's kind of like
Is that
50s
even an episode
racism.
that's
That's how
gonna
I
come
felt
out?
like.
I don't
You know what I
know.
mean? Like,
It's like
Yeah, I think
something
that was
you
the
expect.
second
It's like
one.
something you
Oh, yeah, I
expect
think
your
Yeah, like
No,
your
no,
grandmother
I
to
think
say,
it's
oh,
like
like, oh, she's of
Oh,
the
I
think it's like an
Asian
actual episode.
persuasion.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I don't know about that one.
Uh,
Anyway.
What
yeah.
are we talking about?
Anyway.
I was saying how Asian persuasion is kind of like 50s racism.
A
Where
little
like
bit.
your grandmother would be like, ooh, that's a little bit of like, you know, she's like of the Asian persuasion. You know what I mean? Like that kind of.
It's that connotation of being like
Yeah.
very
Well,
exotic.
no, because I don't think the
Exactly.
50s would say Asian.
What?
Oh
No,
yeah,
they would say
Oriental.
Oriental.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they would. They would
To
they
be
would
fair,
say
though,
that.
the
That's rough.
Orient is a pretty rad name for an area.
Yeah.
Do
That's
we got a
the-
cricket
that's-
sound
that-
effect? I'm just kidding.
That's no, I mean that's not. I don't think that's an offensive word.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think that's just like it's just a cool like name for a
No,
place.
like
Yeah, I just think it's just like the you know the connotation behind it.
At
It's
this
just, like
point-
what
at
kind of
this point in
ruins how
time,
cool
yeah.
it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
yeah,
been-
I'm not
it's
saying
been
I'm gonna
ruined.
say it.
Oh no,
I'm
I know. I'm just saying
saying.
I'm saying like yeah, sure. The Orient could sound cool for an area. It's just like history has like kind of like taken that off the table.
I mean,
you know
fair
what I
enough.
mean?
Isn't that what? Isn't like a book about like a murder mystery on the
Oh,
Orient
Murder on
Express?
the Orient Express.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, rad book title.
And
Pretty
the
good book, too.
movies are pretty solid.
Yeah, movie's fun.
Yeah.
I like the movie.
The old one's, I think, better than the newer one.
I
The
haven't
newer
seen the
one's
old
pretty. No, the
I haven't
one's
seen. I
pretty.
haven't seen the one. I saw the new one. I thought it was fine. You know,
Yeah.
I watch
Uh,
anything Kenneth Branagh's in anyway. To be quite honest, if I'm
Who's
being real.
Kenneth
enough.
Braun?
He's just a guy. He's a
He's
British guy.
Oh, okay.
He does a lot of Shakespeare stuff, so you know,
I see.
it writes itself really. Like,
Okay.
Kenneth Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
yeah, he was in Dunkirk. He was the general in Dunkirk that was on the bridge and then stared off into the distance for the entire movie.
God, what a movie.
Yeah,
I feel
great
like that movie was one of the like I'll see it in the theater and then I'll just never watch it again.
Yeah, no, that was me too.
That
I
was-
watched it in the theater and I had an amazing experience. I saw it in IMAX,
He was in
and I was like,
Thor.
I'm never seeing this again.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like
Never watching
especially
this
that movie
again.
'cause it was pure like sound design as like the point of it. And
Yeah.
I feel like you were not getting it as good as
For
you
sure.
did in the
Harry
movie.
Styles was in it. That's the only reason my sister
yeah,
saw
I
it.
he
know
was.
that.
Yeah.
But I never watch it. But
Oh
I
my
know
god,
he's
dude!
in it.
My sister, when she watched Dunkirk for the first time,
Oh.
holy shit! My sister, so my sister is like a Harry Styles stan. Like she loves Harry Styles. And he was in that movie, so she was like, "I gotta see Dunkirk," and I was like, "Okay, I'll take you to see Dunkirk." So we're seeing Dunkirk, and and you know how he's like a dick in that movie. So like. The first scene comes on where they're like in the boat and he's like, oh, maybe we should like send somebody outside for like sacrifice. So while we all like run away, she was like, she's like Harry.
How old is
She's like Harry.
No.
She's gonna be 21 next week. But when
you
Dunkirk
had
came
an
out, she was
older
what? Was that
sister.
5 years ago? Had to be like 5 years ago.
Dunkirk
she had
came
to
out
be,
5 years ago?
16. Yeah.
Probably
Dunkirk
around
came
there.
out 5 years ago, dog. Crazy.
I don't
What's-
even
oh,
know
shit,
what
I
this
wasn't even
movie
Texas.
is.
The concept of time, man.
Yeah,
I
it was
have
2017.
literally
Insane.
no concept of time.
Oh no, so I wasn't.
By the
Texas.
way, you didn't like mention his probably most notable role as
Who? Harry Styles?
no, Kenneth Braun.
Oh, as?
Can I see a
Guild role
picture?
as Lockhart in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, I don't give two shits.
Can
No
I see
one?
a picture of this man?
No one.
No, I
I
haven't
don't
seen the
like
movies.
I don't like
I
Harry
mean,
Potter.
I've seen Harry Potter, but I haven't seen them since like.
I watched the
Years
I'd
ago.
watched the Chamber of Secrets maybe like 30 times.
I saw it in
no
theaters,
Oh,
I
same
guess.
Z's.
I saw it in
Oh,
Wait,
theaters
isn't he
like
in
4
Game of
times.
Thrones?
I know
No,
this
he's not in Game of
guy,
Thrones.
but
Why
what
does
do
he
I
look
know
like
this
he's in Game
guy
of Thrones?
from?
He looks like one of the
Harry
guys.
He
Potter,
was,
from
he
Game
was
of
the
Thrones.
he was
I
Hamlet
haven't
in the
seen
80s.
Oh, all right, well.
That's a
Hey,
big one
hey,
he was
Sage,
in.
did you
I
get
think he won
past
an Oscar
episode
for
4
that.
of Game
I
of
sure
Thrones?
didn't.
Yeah,
No, yeah, he's not in Game of Thrones.
Oh, he
That's
looks like
Sean
he
Bean.
is.
that's Sean Bean.
Sean Bean is who you're thinking of.
Oh, they
'Cause he
look
looks like
the-
Sean Bean.
Oh, they look the same.
Yeah, they do.
Him. Oh, you know who else looks
They're
the
like
same?
all over 40 British
What's his
people
face?
who have red hair.
Mark
look the same.
Wahlberg and what's the other one?
Matt
Damon. They look
yeah,
the same.
they do look the same. There was like a bit that they did for a while where like Mark Wahlberg and like Matt Damon, if they were on the street and they were approached by a fan who like said, "Oh, hey, you're Mark Wahlberg," or "Hey, you're Matt Damon," to like the other person, they would just go along with it, and they would just take pictures and be like, "Yeah, thanks, I'm Matt Damon." Have a good day." It's really funny.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. Why not?
That's really funny. Yeah.
Oh,
Mark
so
Wahlberg is like the most mid celebrity. Like, on the planet.
I'd agree. I'd agree with you.
Mid-tier.
Are
He's
you
the most
telling me
mid-tier
that Mark
celebrity on the
of
planet.
Marky Mark and the Funchy Bunch is not an 8?
Funky
Dude,
Bunch?
I ate
Funky
at
Bunch?
Wahlburgers.
I'm sorry. I
Funchy Bunch.
Funchy Bunch.
All right, so I did a weekend. I did like a
Wait,
long
wasn't
weekend
he
in
in
Philly.
Transformers?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah?
Yeah, he plays like some dude. So he's
He's
like a
he's in,
computer
like,
scientist.
The newest.
And I'm like,
What?
Marky Mark is not a computer scientist. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you cannot sell me on this concept.
I think out of every movie of his that I've seen, probably the only
Why
ones that
must
I
you
enjoy the
drink in sync
most
with
were.
I don't know, we're just vibing. Man. We're
This
just
is like the
insane.
second or third time.
The only
Looking
ones
back
that
at
I
the
like
footage, we'll be like-
enjoy would probably be fucking Ted, and those movies are mid as hell.
Oh, Ted's fun. Ted 1 is fun, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fucked up with a parchment.
when he decks that kid when he's running down the fucking
Yeah.
that might be one of the like heartiest laughs I've ever had in my life. 'Cause that kid's just running, he fucking decks him and he goes down
Dude.
immediately, and that's what got me was the immediate slam into the ground.
Oh my god. Do
There's
you remember?
something really funny about like people getting hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No, that's like a thing.
Dude,
I
there's
don't
nothing-
agree.
in that movie?
It makes me
What
sad.
Liam Neeson scene in that movie?
When Ted's working
Like when
at the-
people laugh, when
maybe it
people
was Ted
fall,
too,
it
but
makes
he's
me want
working
to
at
cry.
the store,
It
Oh,
just feels
I'll
so
laugh
bad.
at so many people.
Yeah,
Walks up
same.
with a box of tricks,
Laugh
he's
I
first,
would
care
laugh
second.
what if you felt,
My
but like
understanding
see strangers or like
these
other
are for
people
children.
like.
No, you gotta have the
makes me
same
cry.
sentiment.
Yeah, and he's like,
No, I mean if you guys are hurt, then yeah. But like if I know you're okay, then like
no,
sir.
Always laugh first, care second.
Yeah.
No.
Always laugh first.
no.
One
What?
time.
She was saying that like if people fall or get hurt, she
makes
feels
me
bad
sad.
first,
Oh, it makes you
and
sad.
she can't laugh. And I was like, no,
Let me tell you
always
something.
laugh first, care
There's
second.
nothing better than like a video where like some dude gets hit and like the slap is like the most crisp shit on the planet. Like it feels like ice hitting the floor. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing
Right.
better than like the sound of like someone just getting fucking clapped. Like it's
That-
great. It's
that,
so
that
funny.
laugh first, care second though. That reminds me of in my I think it was my freshman year. I was doing AV, and there was a production going on, and there was a scene in the production where one of the actors is like arguing and walking down the stairs of the set, and he's supposed to fall down the stairs and like do a whole fall down the stairs, get to the
What
bottom.
show was this?
Noises off.
Okay.
No, not noises off.
Noises Off was.
No,
freshman
it
year, I
was
believe.
Secrets or something.
Rumors?
Rumors. Thank you.
That wasn't freshman year.
Yeah.
was sophomore?
Noises Off was this freshman. wasn't
I'm
it?
sorry, I forgot.
They were,
Anyway.
they were
you say.
theater nerds.
Anyways, he has to fall down the stairs, and he did a very good job of just.
Who was it?
I don't remember who
Oh.
it was, but he had to fall down the stairs to the bottom, and he did a really good job of it. And it looked real, and it sounded real. So the director had to start the laugh during the shows to make sure people knew that he did not actually just fall and is
Oh, that
hurt on
is
the bottom of the
incredible.
stage.
Sucks.
Incredible.
It sucks.
That's
Oh my
incredible.
god.
because it looked and sounded pretty bad.
Imagine your only claim to fame as an actor is you're able to fall down the stairs really
Your
good.
falling is really A1. Let
you
me
got
tell
a really
you.
great falling. Do you think Mark Wahlberg could fall down the stairs as well as that kid can? Like,
Not as good as this kid.
not as good as this dude.
Bro,
I
you
dude,
kidding
I
me?
did.
He's gonna pay people to push. He's gonna like personally pay someone money so like he can push him down the stairs for him.
Dude, I did a long
Stunt
weekend.
double.
Yeah.
I did a long weekend in Philly, like maybe 3 years ago, from like Thursday to Monday or whatever. And it was like, I forgot what it was for. It was just like me and a bunch of friends went down and like did a long weekend. And one night we all got like destroyed, like absolutely and utterly destroyed. And Wahlburgers is open for like a really long time. I don't know when it closes, but it closes at something like 2 in the morning.
Oh, I forgot
right?
about that.
So we went to Wahlburgers just like for shits and gigs, and also we were all like, each of us were like 20 beers in. So not like 20 beers in. We were pretty trashed. But so we walked in, and like we got burgers, right? I just got like a regular cheeseburger. I ate it, and I like threw up immediately after. So like, realistically, it was like the 40 beers we all had, right? But I'd like to blame it on Wahlburgers just being so shitty that on like one bite,
Your
I managed
body
to
just rejected
you just
the
rejected
Wahlburger.
it from like immediately rejected it as soon as it hit my tongue. Like there's no.
I totally forgot he had like a food
Yeah,
store.
dude. He had like they had the reality show for a while where like Donnie was like,
There's
"Oh,
a
I'm a big
reality
man trying to make a burger." You know what I mean? Like how they talk in Philly.
Yeah.
So
Is that how they talk in Philly?
not
Yes,
at all. Are you kidding me?
100%. That is how every single man, woman, child,
Yeah,
babies
yeah. They're
come
all
out
like,
the
"Oh, I
womb
gotta get a burger."
speaking like
You know what I
that.
mean? No, it's funny because I
I
just
hope
watched that
so.
show. I just watched that show, Mayor from Easttown or Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet. Really good show, by
Sure.
the way. One of my favorites, probably ever, if I'm being real. Right? Phenomenal
I don't
show.
know if I've known anything we've talked about this entire time. No, you got some of them. I don't
All
think
right,
I got
to give you
one
guys
thing.
context, HBO like pretty much every year does like miniseries either original or like based off a novel or something like that. Like 2 years ago, they did a novel by Gillian Flynn called Sharp Objects, which
Yes, I
starred
watched
Amy
that.
Adams. One of my favorite shows of all time. So recently, they just
Okay.
had an original miniseries called Mayor of Easttown, which stars Kate Winslet and Evan Peters. And in that show, it's set in like a suburb of Philadelphia. So like everybody's got like super heavy Philly accents. So like when I'm doing fucking like heavy ass New York accent, like, oh, I gotta be in a fucking burger. You know what I mean? It's just like I watched this whole thing like with people just like talking in Philly accents, and I just couldn't do one, and I'm just like, well, this is a waste.
Wait, okay, so you're talking about accents, but I just had this memory of when I was watching Free.
Splash Free?
Splash Free.
Splash Free?
Splash Free.
I've never seen it, but I love that.
Okay,
like, little...
so one
Yeah.
of the characters, the Shark Boy, Rin.
Shut.
No, but wait, hold
Excuse
on,
me.
hold on.
He has
No,
sh-
he just
sharp
has
teeth.
sharp teeth.
It's a trope in anime.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he
Okay.
like goes to Australia to like study swimming.
Oh wait, I didn't want to like no.
Wait,
I was
hold
talking
on.
like Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
Yes,
not like an
but
actual
that's-
shark
No.
child.
No, no,
wait,
I'm
I'll
talking.
show you.
No.
I'll
He's
show you.
just
He
He
has
just
sharp,
has-
so, like,
he's
And
a
he-
regular
and he's, like-
boy with red hair but shark teeth.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
his like
you know, all
his-
boys with red hair have
his,
shark
like,
teeth, of
mascot's
course.
a shark.
Hiroshima, doesn't he got sharp teeth
Yeah.
too?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
It is a
Hiroshima.
thing.
It's literally just a trope.
Oh wow, look at him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's
so he goes to
angsty.
Australia to go study swimming or practice swimming or be
Yeah.
a swimmer or some shit.
Sure.
And then he comes back to
Was
Japan.
that so he could train for the Olympics?
I don't know.
I think so.
And then it's like there's this scene where it's like him speaking in English, but it's not like someone who can speak English. Like you can tell the voice actor
They
only
tried to get like the
speaks
Japanese voice actor to speak English.
but they're like, here's like 3 English sentences, and it's just. But also, he's supposed to have an Australian accent, and it's just the oddest amalgamation of accents, all in like one clusterfuck of
Wait,
3
I
sentences.
think also-
did they
oh.
give him? Did they give him an Australian accent?
They
Yeah.
tried to.
He doesn't even have an Australian accent in English.
No, in the sub.
That's a weird choice.
No, it's so weird. It's like half
I mean, it would make
Japanese.
sense. He went there
half-
as a
anytime they
child.
give,
Right.
grew up.
like,
No, they tried their
Japanese
best.
voice actors English lines.
But
it is
I'm
the
sure it's, like,
greatest thing on the
But the
Amazing,
best
yeah.
part about that, I haven't seen the show, but I've seen this scene, is that he talks to people from Australia during this time, and they have perfect Australian
Yeah,
accents.
they're like English-speaking Australian people, and then it's like very natural Australian accents, and then him where it's just like, what are you saying?
Well, they had the Australian accent people there, like normally, like in English, but he never had one. Like
I
they
don't-
just
I
They
don't-
chose
probably were like,
them.
nah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
they just chose. I guess they wanted that voice actor. They were like, try the Australian accent.
And they were probably like,
they're
this is awful.
They were probably
It's
like,
okay.
"Hey, we've seen the first season of JoJo's. We know this doesn't go well. Just
Yeah, it's rough.
do
It's
what you
real
do."
rough.
It really
So,
depends though, because some knock it out of the park.
No,
Yeah,
you're
like
right.
Bakuno,
Like
the
I really
accents are
like.
so
Also,
good.
I'm really annoyed. We were talking about Bakuno last week, I think.
Yeah,
not on
here.
the podcast, but I think just
No,
hanging
just
out.
that we're hanging out.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go home and watch it. Went home.
Did you watch it?
No, you can't find it anywhere.
Oh yeah,
Is
you
it
can
not
only
on
that's a
watch-
Netflix
shame. I
anymore?
really want to
It's
watch
not on
it.
anything at all.
Yeah, you can only watch
You have
it
to buy
illegally.
it. Yeah, but so
No, buy it.
no,
Or buy it.
Or buy it.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't do an illegal thing.
No.
No,
I
never.
swear.
I pay for literally every streaming service. I am
sure
not
does.
gonna. Yeah.
He
I mean,
sure
yeah,
does.
yeah.
I sure as hell wouldn't do anything illegally. Anyway, thanks to our sponsor NordVPN.
Because I feel like Bakuno never
how I
had a
watch
big
Naruto.
enough fan base when it was first coming out that they never like put it to any major streaming.
Well, it was on Funimation, but they ran out of the rights in 2016.
Oh, when was it on Funimation?
Before 2016.
What
So, I
Google
wanna-
deep
I
dive
don't-
did you do to find out the year that they lost
Well, no,
it?
I pulled up like, is there anywhere to watch it? And on Reddit, they
Oh,
were like,
and it
oh, it
was
came
like
off Funimation. Like the
Fun-
Reddit
oh,
post
okay.
was like 3 years ago, and they were like, oh, Funimation
Oh.
just pulled it off.
Yeah, I was
maybe
about
it's
to
in, like,
Google
rights
where to
limbo or
watch
some shit.
Bakuno, and it's just your result came
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
So maybe it's in like rights limbo or some shit. Like
Yeah, like,
just
on-
It
people are
could
fighting
be
over
because
rights.
it's not like the most super popular show.
I'd never heard of it.
You can
before.
buy it,
It's
but like
so
you can't.
good.
You,
It's
yeah.
13 episodes. Actually, it's.
I
12.
wanted to watch it because they were describing it
It's
to me
12
last night.
episodes and then like a 4-episode OVA following
I
that.
think you can buy it on Funimation and like watch it on their site, but you can't. Like it's not just there to stream.
I think
Right.
you can also buy a DVD set like off Amazon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then I do recommend instead just trying Do Ra Ra Ra. It's another project by the same people, and
Right.
it is
You were
the first-
telling me to
the
watch
first
that
OP
season's
too.
very good.
slaps.
Yeah,
Haven't seen the
I'll get
show.
it.
So I
know
wanna-
the
I wanna-
OG.
Speaking of shows that I was like, oh hey, I gotta watch this. Yesterday I was like, all right, you know what? I need a show. I'm down to 4 shows. I can't have 4
Oh
shows.
no, only
Oh,
4
no.
shows. What will you
The absolute
do?
worst.
But hey, I'm back to 4 shows because I watched it in a day. So
Oh, Jesus
Wonder
Christ.
Egg Priority, I watched in less than 24 hours. 6 episodes
it's
yesterday.
done?
The last 6, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, I should
have to
watch it.
catch
Yeah,
up.
the dub is
It's good.
The dub is finished.
She's got like the blue hair and the
Yeah.
like
the
and
yellow jacket.
she's what's it called when you have 2
Coraline?
different
Oh.
eye colors?
Heterochromia?
Heterochromia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the thing like Siberian Huskies have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda?
Yeah, but it's really pretty. The like last episode is like that's like a special or whatever. That's like an hour long.
I just didn't know it was done yet.
Yeah, the
I did
hour long
stop
thing is
watching it.
not dubbed yet. But like the 12 episodes are done, but the like hour long thing is the actual end of the show.
Mhm.
It is done, but that part's not dubbed. If you're watching
I'll
it
wait.
dubbed, I don't. Yeah.
I'll wait.
I didn't realize that was
Sorry.
a thing until afterwards because I got to episode 12 and I was like, oh wait, like it says there's 13 episodes, so I went to the next episode and then it was subbed and I was like, oh.
You're like, well, I'm already here. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably just gonna watch it. I just didn't have the time today because I had to leave.
Well,
to
then
come
you
here.
didn't finish it.
Well,
did
I mean,
that?
I finished what they say, what they count as the original show. It's then considered like a special.
Like an OVA.
Yeah, like technically it's labeled as 12 episodes of a show.
Are they getting a season 2 or it's actually wrapped up?
I don't know. I don't know
Did
what
it
this last
feel
episode.
wrapped up?
I haven't watched the special. It's the special counts.
I thought
as-
you said the show is
the
12
show is
then it's
labeled as 12
done.
episodes.
Yeah, wait,
But
I think
that
her-
13th episode is a continuation
Wait,
of the show. It's how it
her,
ends.
I think her question is if you watched it just
no,
12 episodes.
because
okay.
the 13th episode is the end of the show.
So why would they not make it 13
So then it's
episodes?
13
Because that's not how they
episodes.
labeled it. They
That's
labeled it as a
stupid.
special.
Well,
Yeah,
tell
to be
them-
fair, they do
I
that
don't know what you
sometimes.
want
It's
from me.
kind of
That's
like
just what they labeled
it's
it.
like an OVA because it's
I
like a
want the
40-minute
answers,
OVA,
Michael.
right?
Yeah, I guess
It's
not
like
even
longer
really-
than
it's-
average,
it's,
right?
It's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's 42
Ask
minutes.
Yeah, there we go. So
production
it's like
company
it's
why
like
they
a
made these
42-minute
choices.
OVA. It's an extra thing on top. They've done that before. Like I watched Real Life is a very good show. I do recommend.
Wolf's Rain also does that.
And,
They have 4 OVAs.
Violet
Yeah.
Evergarden does it too.
Yeah.
It's pretty common actually. Akano does
but
it.
apparently that OVA made everyone not like the show. So
Oh,
yeah, I saw a lot of
no.
discourse
Hate to see
online.
it.
I
Yeah.
saw that too.
I'm gonna find out. But like my first impression of that show
no.
after watching it, I was like debating whether or not to give it like a 7 or an 8. And I was like,
Oh, the hard choices.
Literally, I was
The
like,
ones that keep us up at night.
I do
I was-
hate that you can't do halves.
Yeah, like I was looking at it and I was like, it doesn't feel like it deserves an 8 compared to the other shows I've given an 8, but it doesn't feel like it deserves a 7 because it's not as it's better than those 7 shows I usually give. I gave it an 8 because what pushed it over was just like how pretty it was to watch at the very least, and it had some interesting like story beats it was trying
There's
to
also
tell.
good like battle scenes.
Yeah, everything was really pretty, and I think it's Clover Work, or if you want to look that up.
Yeah, who's the production company?
Yeah, I think it's Clover something.
it's
I'm
very
forgetting their name,
cute.
but they also did. Well, they were the people that did Promised Neverland.
Ah.
Yeah, Cloverworks.
Yeah, they did both seasons, right? Or just the second season?
Yeah, it's just saying Cloverworks. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, did they?
For
can you click
Promised
on their thing?
Neverland.
Can you see?
Oh,
did they do
oh,
both
for
seasons?
Promise Never. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we were still on. Sorry about that.
Well, I was. I'm asking if that production company did both seasons or just the second.
Pulling it up.
I think they did both, if I'm not mistaken, because it's very. I think both are very their art style, which is like a very polished, like realistic-ish kind of look with like slight distortions and
I
things to
didn't
make
think
it.
Promised Neverland
Yeah.
looked realish.
I mean, all the like humans and stuff look realistic enough in the weird, like just warped backgrounds.
I mean, yeah, it's got to follow the art style of the manga.
Did they
for
do
that,
both?
So yeah, they did both.
No, I know,
They
but I
also
just
did
don't,
both
I don't
for
think that the two
They
like
also did Persona 5
I
the
don't think
animation.
that I could
raw.
say that they're anything
No.
like each other.
Well, they don't look the same, but it's more just like
Yeah.
the way they go about the art is like stylistically. It doesn't look the same, but like it follows the same like general structure in terms of like how they kind of design the.
Wait, are you saying like the animation in Persona 5?
No.
or-
So Persona.
So I was
the
about to say
Persona.
that game is great.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic. The Persona
Yeah.
games are like actually
Oh,
some
but
of
the
my
animations
favorites.
are awful.
The animation refers to they make an anime series based on each game.
Do they
And-
really?
Yeah,
And they're like
It's- it's
notoriously
like a-
bad.
They're kind of notoriously bad because it's a around 100-hour game, and there's a lot of information, and then they
Oh, they
condense
adapt
that.
the game into an anime.
Yeah, they
Oh,
adapt
lame.
the game into an anime that's
Yeah,
24
you
episodes.
get like the exact scenes that you got in the game, in the anime, and then you also get some other stuff, and you also the main character speaks because obviously.
You might as well
They barely speak,
just
though.
edit all the cutscenes in the games together into.
It's
because,
a
like,
little different.
It looks better
it's,
already.
Isn't that
Kind of
what
hard
they do
to
with, like,
it's
Final
kind of hard to
Fantasy?
explain.
Final Fantasy,
really.
No, Final Fantasy, like the only movies they made were The Spirits Within, which is like its own thing,
Oh, okay.
and then Advent Children, which is a sequel to 7, and then they did a recent one called Kingsglaive, which is a prequel to 15.
Oh yeah.
They've only made 3.
I
So-
do
so
have
my
to
understanding.
So
say,
what are
Watch
they
that.
up to? Final Fantasy like
16 is
200?
supposed to be coming out like either next
They've made
year or
more
the
than
year after.
16 games, but there are 16
Yeah, there's
mainline
16.
titles.
Yeah, exactly. There's 16 in the main.
Like there are
but
spin-offs of like 13 too.
There's like
Right.
like
But I
hundreds
can't
of
get
Final
more
Fantasy
Kingdom
games.
Hearts games.
Well, yeah, because that guy takes 30 years to
Tetsuya
make
Nomura
it. Yeah,
is
'cause
just
he's a
like, I'm gonna do
perfectionist.
Final Fantasy all the time.
Yeah, 'cause he's a
Not that I'm
perfectionist.
complaining.
no
But-
one's
No, literally,
complaining, honestly.
that's
Yeah,
why
really.
it takes him so long, and then they're like, you got to put it out. That's why 15, like a lot of the end of the game is in a
God,
cave.
Dude, don't even get me started on 15's development cycle because that was just
I'm
like
playing that
disappointment.
currently on my channel, so please don't give me spoilers.
Oh, I'm not gonna give you spoilers.
Okay,
I'm
good,
just
thanks.
saying, like that whole development cycle was like an absolute nightmare
Oh,
to
yeah.
follow from like the
He,
day
like,
it got
literally,
announced.
it's just him as a director is like everyone loves him as a director. The problem is
No,
that-
they don't.
No, but in terms of like in what he writes and like puts out is good. The problem is he's such a perfectionist that they don't go at like any
He's a-
amount of speed.
he's
because
a
like,
better-
he needs everything to be perfect, and it takes everything forever to finish.
He's a better scenario designer and character like creator and like artist than he is an actual like game director.
I think
Right.
my,
So
fa-
is
I
he
He's,
think
just,
my
a
like-
fucking
favorite.
mess all the
Is
time.
he just like a really bad leader?
He just
I don't know, like the
From-
internal, I don't know what
from
like internally
everything that I've
happened,
seen,
but
everyone just says that he's a perfectionist to a fault.
every
Oh,
time,
okay.
every
And
time
it just
that-
halts everything.
just-
Sage,
Gotcha.
my best way to
The thing
explain
is,
this
like-
is I played Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was in 4th grade. I played Kingdom Hearts 3 my senior year of college.
yeah.
Gotcha.
That pretty much.
There was
Every
games in
single time you
between.
see game director Tetsuya Nomura, just expect to wait like at least like 15 years.
So you
Final
gotta wait like
Fantasy-
half your lifetime to
Final
like get
Fantasy
to it.
15
For games that end up kind of okay.
Final Fantasy 15 was announced in 2007, and it was known as Final Fantasy Versus 13. Final Fantasy 15 came out in 2016,
Wait, when did the first one come out?
Final Fantasy.
1984.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah,
But
for, like, the
no, the
NES,
cool
I
thing
think?
is, yeah, the cool thing is,
Was it?
Final Fantasy.
I think so.
Final Fantasy
I'll
was
double check.
it was originally going to be Square's last game because they like had a bunch of like misses, so they called it Final Fantasy, like the final
Square
fantasy
Enix.
that they're creating.
Oh.
The
And
game
then
company
Final
Square
Fantasy,
Enix.
Final Fantasy was such a huge hit that like it spawned like this whole
It's like
multimedia
Final
franchise.
Destination.
Yeah, it was for the
Except
Yeah,
there's like
except-
10 of them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Final Fantasy 15 is a lot of fun.
I like
but
that game
my
quite a
best
bit.
friend told me that you can get the Ultima weapon, which is the best weapon in the game,
Yes.
in the first area. So I burnt myself out because I just spent 4 to 8 hours trying to get the Ultima weapon without leaving the first area, and then I finally was like, oh, fuck it, and I finished the first chapter, and I was like, okay, I'm done here.
It's bullshit.
And also,
way,
on top
the-
of that, Final
Final-
Fantasy VII Remake, I think, was announced in like 2006.
Final Fantasy
And then
VII
it came
Remake
out
was announced. No, here's the
2020.
thing. Final Fantasy VII Remake was okay. So it was at like the PS3
They
showcase.
showed it off, too.
At the PS3 showcase, it was a tech demo because they were like, "Oh, here's what the PS3 can do." So what they did was they reanimated the opening scene of Final Fantasy VII and made it in like, oh, modern graphics, like it looks great. And then it was like in the rumor mill for like almost a decade. And then they finally announced it in like 2014, and it came out like last year.
Yep.
I
It's
know,
ridic-
I
it's
know,
ridiculous.
I know it can't work because I know that's like it's how like stockholders and board people like work. But if game companies could just like not announce a game till it's already golden,
Yeah.
and then like
Bethesda does that.
right, like just till it's golden, and then like till it's already gone gold, and then you're like, hey, we're announcing the game.
Yeah.
It's coming out in 6 months, and then you spend that 6 months of the game developers polishing and
Yeah.
the marketing team just shelling out everything for the marketing name. I
That-
know they can't do it, but
Yeah.
God, if they could.
Yeah,
But
that would
that
be the
was the
best
problem
system, but
with-
they can't.
I know they
But that
can't.
was the problem with Final Fantasy is that they blow their load super early on like
And
an
Cyberpunk.
extravagant announcement, and Cyberpunk on like an extravagant announcement, and then they don't release the game for like 8 years.
Yeah, and then the hype dies, or
Yeah.
the hype gets too big that you'll never match whatever
Exactly.
it is. And then
Exactly.
you also have problems, and then
Yeah.
people keep getting mad because you delay it. Talking about Cyberpunk mostly here.
Cyberpunk,
And then it comes
8
out,
years.
nobody's happy about it.
Dude, it was crazy. I remember they announced Cyberpunk when I was a freshman in high school. 2012, they announced it formally. And it came out on my birthday last year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When I was
Happy
2 years out of
birthday.
college. Thank you. When I was a year out of college.
Not a great gift.
crazy. Yeah, it was not a great game.
No.
I remember
Sorry.
playing
So-
it, and then Jackie,
I have
your
so
friend
many
Jackie, like
words.
clipped through the floor and broke the quest, and I was like, uninstall.
I have so
Like,
many words about
Oh,
that game that I won't
no.
get
not
into,
great,
but it's just so
But
bad.
yeah, Final Fantasy. I like Final Fantasy is probably like my top 3 favorite gaming series besides like Silent Hill and Zelda. And
I'm really
Metroid.
excited they're remaking the first couple games, or like at least remastering
Yeah, with, like,
them.
pixel art and
Yeah,
stuff.
because
No,
I've
it-
always really wanted to play them. I tried the first one once.
It's-
I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
too old for me.
No,
'Cause I was,
I'm
like, 12,
really happy
so-
about that too because they're actually genuinely great games. It's just that they're so like cryptic and like aged so poorly that like they're very like obtuse to break through.
That's why it's like some games, like unless I played them as a kid, I usually can't go back and play certain things. I've had it sitting on my desk now for like ever.
Oh,
You were
Persona
like,
3?
play Persona 3, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, like I'm going to get to it. Like I promise I will. But like it's also like one of those hurdles that I know I'm gonna put it in and be like, oh.
Is it 'cause
especially
of
It's
the
not
visuals?
that bad.
No,
It's really
yeah,
not
like
that. No, the
visuals
visuals are
also-
pretty good.
But
Oh,
also
okay.
like because especially if you play a later game in a series, there's usually so many more quality of
Yeah.
life things that they add. That then
Game
when you-
design is improved.
Yeah, and you
like,
go back
yeah.
and then you're like playing and you're like, this could just be like so much easier. Like, I
Yeah,
could just be
I
playing.
tried to replay Persona 4 after playing Persona 5, and I was like, oh, I can't save at all in the dungeon.
Like they just make better
And-
systems.
Yeah,
as
honestly,
they
yeah,
go.
yeah, just things are
honestly too,
better.
if you want like a really cool timeline of like how game design has improved over the years, the Final Fantasy series is like the perfect place to do it. Because like Final Fantasy 1 started off as like this NES game that was like pretty rudimentary for the time, but like really super complex and like had a really incredible story, like one of the first of its kind. And then like as you go throughout the years, you get like then like the series' first foray into like 3D with like 7, where like the whole game was like rendered in 3D and it had like a super complex story and like all these like intertwining systems and stuff like that. And then you get like to like the PS2 era where there's like even more improvements. Like Final Fantasy is like a really cool like timeline as to how like game design and just video games in general have like improved and like aged and gotten better over the years. Except for 13, we don't talk about 13 because it's
How
a dog
long-
shit game. But
That's
that they
that's
made
li-
2
that-
sequels
Oh,
for.
That's
no.
whatever. Is that
Yeah, I
lightning?
think that's
Yeah.
lightning.
Final Fantasy 13 is it's a 40-hour long tutorial and actually 20
What?
hours of game. I'm not kidding.
40 hours of tutorial?
I'm not kidding.
That's a whole
Final
week's work.
Fantasy 13, the first like 20 hours of the game are you walking down a bridge.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding.
That's horrible.
I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
at least like most other JRPGs, even though they probably also have like 20 to 30 hours of fucking tutorial. Like Persona 5.
Persona
It's
Persona
still-
4 and 5 take like 2 to 6 hours.
like,
to,
literally,
yeah, but at
actually
least
once
get
you
into
play
it.
the game,
at
once
least
you-
it opens up.
Yeah, but like
But-
once
Yeah.
you play the game once, you just have that shit on fast forward immediately, just XXXX
Yeah.
for like literally. It still takes like 2 hours, but you're
Yeah.
just like sitting there being like, I don't care, I don't
I
care.
don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
But
Yeah.
is
Final
tutorial
Fantasy
like
13.
story mode?
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
still
Well,
in the
it
story.
teaches you
The
how to like
story's-
play the
the
game,
story's
like all the
going on.
mechanics. But the thing with 13 is that every single Final Fantasy game prior to 13 was like super expansive. Like there was a world to explore, there was like characters to meet, there was like all these side quests and all this stuff to do. But you had like maybe 2 hours of tutorial beforehand
Oh, okay.
teaching you how to like play the game and like use its systems and stuff. 13 starts off with like 20 hours of like going in a straight line.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not kidding.
horrible.
Like in a straight line, and then like more than halfway through the game does it finally open up into like the big world that you
Right.
can explore for the rest of the game. And it doesn't last much longer than that because in the tutorial you get all the characters that in like your party. Because like Final Fantasy, like the whole thing is like you have party members that are like
Right.
in your squad.
And you can like change them out?
And you can change them out,
Right.
and exactly, and you can like intertwine them and stuff. Except for 15, because 15 only has 4 party members that you have with you at all times.
Amazing.
Well,
Squad.
Cat loves
but-
them.
yeah,
Yep.
Cat loves
no, they're
one
all great. No,
specifically.
believe me, Final
Prompto.
Fantasy 15,
He's my
Final Fantasy
husband.
15, hot take, one of the best Final Fantasies. I know a lot of people don't like it. But
I thought it was pretty fun
whatever.
from what I played. I
It's
got
a
burned.
great
I
game.
haven't
I
played it.
burned
It's a
myself
great
out
game.
very stupidly, and I need to go back and play
I
it
haven't
again.
played
The
it.
problem
I've
with
just heard the
15 is that
public
they didn't
opinion
finish
that,
it.
yeah. Well,
That's the
yeah,
problem with
because
wasn't
of the
the
They didn't
director.
finish
Wasn't
it.
the DLC like the finish of the game though?
I'm playing the DLC with it, so I'm getting the
Yeah.
whole story.
So-
Doesn't the DLC let you play co-op?
There's a multiplayer mode in it.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is that they shipped it and it was like unfinished because the story was like not done. There's like a really weird time skip. Characters leave your party and come back like completely inexplicably. Like there's literally one point in the game where like I think you're like a quarter of the way through, and like one of your characters is like, "Hey Noctis, I gotta go finish up some errands. I'll see you later."
I
And
gotta
you
go
don't
get
have
some
him in your party
cigarettes.
for like an hour and a half or like 5 hours. I'm like, where is he? And then like the DLC comes out and it's like, "Hey Noctis, I gotta go take care of some errands. Here we go." And then you play the DLC and you play him like doing those like errands, which is like some like fucking like trial this guy has to do to like get a big sword that he can like use to be better in the
So-
party.
so
but
he's-
like literally they just leave for
is
no
this-
reason.
So he's
This
like a
Gladdy
dad
Daddy?
who's like,
That's
I'm gonna
Gladdy
go to the
Daddy, yeah.
store
Well-
and get some cigarettes, and he never comes back.
Dude, like literally, I'm not kidding. It's like so abrupt. Like you're literally there in 1 second. You're just like, hey, not this. I just gotta go like take a shit real quick. I'll see you in a minute. 15 hours later, he's back. He's like, oh, I took that shit. It was really weird. But then you guys like drove off in the car without me. I don't know how to find you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Also, you need to know that most of this game is you driving in a car.
It is.
Isn't it
No,
like,
it's
isn't
lovely.
it like an
There
Audi?
are 4 guys having a road trip in a car,
Yeah. The
driving
game-
through this country.
Isn't it like
The
we're at
main
an
theme of
Audi?
the game. The
Like
main
a
theme of the game
convertible
stage.
Audi?
Yeah, it's like a nice ass
it's
car.
like a straight
Like an
R8.
R8.
It's like a
Yeah.
I was
Audi,
gonna
yeah.
say an
Isn't it
Audi
an
R8.
Yeah.
Or you could have like your butler-esque friend drive for
Yeah,
you.
Ignis.
Oh, yeah,
my
he
boy
always-
Ignis.
he-
Yo, best
So
boy.
just do
He
the.
always drives unless it's night, and he's like, "You want to
He's
take
like-
over?"
He's
I
like,
don't know,
I'm
there's
tired
monsters out
now.
here.
do the LA Noir style. Never drive, so you can't lose points, but for hitting shit.
Yeah, because you're a cop in that game, so you can't like hit pedestrians.
Yeah,
or
so you just
whatever.
you
That-
have
that
your
would bother
you
me.
get you
That
get
would bother me.
you get to the passenger seat and always just go, yeah, you drive while you like do
Yeah,
shit, so
and
you
no, but
never
dude,
lose
literally,
points.
It's so funny. Like you're just driving, and then as soon as like the sun like sets over the horizon, Ignis is like, bro, it's like really fucking.
Yeah,
dark."
he does.
Like-
He's like, "We gotta go," and it's like
He's like,
agree, disagree, take over.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have to just.
It's
So
like,
if you
no, but the
disagree,
thing
what
is, too, is, like, the
happens?
If you
game-
disagree, he's like, "How fucking dare you?"
I'm not getting right
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
car.
treats
Yeah,
you
he
like an
says, "How
absolute
fucking dare you?"
asshole.
And he
It's
says,
like,
"I'm
I've
not
been
driving.
driving
Take
all
over."
day.
The
Yes.
game treats you like
Yes.
an absolute asshole. It's
Yeah.
like Ignis is sitting there. He's like, huh, it's getting dark. Maybe we should make camp soon. And then you can just like ignore him. And he's like, huh, it's getting dark. Maybe we should make camp soon. And then it's like, and night finally comes, and Ignis is just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
We passed
been
like
telling
we
you.
passed
Yeah.
like 40 camping spots
Yeah.
and like 16 motels, and we didn't stop. You're driving, and then you're like, fine, I can drive. And then you start driving as Noctis, and then like a fucking giant ass monster just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, hey jackass, remember when I told you to camp? Here's a level 9 billion monster that you and your stupid ass level 15 squad can't kill for shit, because if you try to, you'll be fighting for like an hour and a half, and then if you get hit once, you die immediately. And then
But
it
you get
brings
to
you all
respawn,
the way
right?
back. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then it brings
you
you
respawn.
all the way
Yeah.
back
I
to
was
when
like,
you
respawn.
start
Yeah.
driving.
No, and I'm telling you, so like I haven't been that far, but some of the locations to get from quest to quest, 12-minute drive.
It's a
That's
millennia.
real.
It's
That's
a
real
millennia.
time.
Later on, you can fast
That's
travel.
good.
That was we're
Later
playing
on, you
Red
can
Dead
fast
I
Redemption
travel.
2.
literally am sitting there just talking to chat. I have started putting myself in the middle of the car. I move
Sage.
my camera as if I'm driving with you.
Sage, I'm not kidding.
Just hang
Sage,
out.
I'm not kidding. When I was first playing the game, you can fast travel, or you can't fast travel until a certain point
you
in the game.
can't do it to new places though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
So a
have to
certain point in
already
the game.
be there.
So if you go from one end of the map to the other end of the map, it's like a 30-minute drive.
That's
so I did
so
funny.
auto drive, and I made myself food.
Yeah.
As I was driving, I made myself mac and cheese, and it was like 15 minutes left in the drive. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with myself
That
for
is
15 minutes?
incredible.
Like, you're literally
It's
playing Red
real
Dead
ti-
Redemption 2.
It's
Yeah.
literally real time, which I don't get.
I don't get it.
I
No,
can
it's so
pull
you
up
can earn
Genshin,
it.
switch
No, no, no,
games,
so that-
and then go back to it.
No,
and
no.
be
So
like,
that
"Sorry, guys."
every couple seconds, they can just say one of their voice lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
And they're
my
all great.
God.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
all
No, no,
great.
no,
I mean, I
I'm not
love
gonna
staring at
disrespect
them.
Okay,
So, like,
so with
it's
games that
fine.
have 30-minute real-time drives, how many hours do you think it is to play all of like the Final Fantasy games? Just main titles.
So the first
kidding?
6 are,
Oh, God.
the first 6 are like relatively for the time relatively long games. Like the first one is
What does that
maybe
mean, like 4
15
hours? 15 hours?
No, here's the thing.
That's
Here's the thing.
little.
nothing.
That's
That's
pretty
That's
little.
little.
No,
For one
Sage.
game?
Yeah,
That's
J-
little.
wait, JRPGs are long.
No, wait a minute. Wait a
They're
minute.
short
Wait
as
a minute.
fuck.
So little.
Wait a minute. Hold on. In the 80s, 15 hours was a fucking eternity. If you knew what you were doing, you could beat the original Super Mario Bros. In like an hour or two.
I have a lizard brain. 4 hours is long.
No, but
Now,
like
Sage, you realize like if you're playing a game, like I know you don't play games a lot, but like if any game that you really like pick up and you just kind of start playing, like 4 hours, people would be like, this is a nothing game.
It
Well, I guess
depends on the
StarCraft
experience.
is probably
I
longer.
have, like-
disagree. It
You
depends
say
on
that,
the
I just
experience,
looked
I
up
think.
the average playtime of Persona 5, which is one of my favorite JRPGs. Main story alone, 97 hours, 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Look up the playtime for StarCraft 1.
Is there
That's
a story in
There's a
StarCraft?
story in StarCraft.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the only reference I have. That's the only game I've played.
But
average playtime, main story, 25 hours, 13 minutes.
Oh, I
did
played the
that.
whole
Here's the
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
So
you
Here's the
did
thing.
that.
Final Fantasy games are like notoriously long anyway.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're very long games. Not because of the main story. The main stories are usually pretty long. Like 15's main story is like maybe 45 hours, give or take. But like there's a bunch of side shit to do all the time. Like Final Fantasy VII doesn't have that much side stuff, but like the side stuff that's in there could probably take up at least like 10 to 15 hours.
Yeah, like Persona 5, I've played like 200 plus hours of. Like just yeah, to like
200
It's the-
hours?
it's-
yeah,
it's-
because like
gotta
you start
play
playing it
this.
and then you like
Yeah.
you want if you want to get like 100% completion, which is how I play that game, it's like 200 plus hours to get all
favorite
the
game-
confidants, like
Oh,
to get
'cause you want,
everything
like,
all
the
way
stuff.
up. Yeah, like
Yeah,
get
like the
everything up.
first time I played it, I think it took me 120 hours.
Wait, how do you even know how long you played?
It
Oh,
says-
so
they
it
have,
says
like,
that
track-
when you,
most
when you
games
go
have
to your
timers.
save
Except
file,
Genshin
it says how
doesn't,
long
and I
you've been
want to know how long I've been playing that.
No, you
because
don't. No, you
it's
don't.
gotta be like
No, you don't.
1,000 hours.
I
Like,
wanna-
it's
How
gotta
long
be.
have I played Dokkan Battle? I don't want to know. I kind of do.
Yeah, well,
I'll
it's been
look on
years
my-
for
on
that.
my,
Genshin hasn't even been out for a
Warriors
year.
Save
Yeah.
files have it. Or
Jesus.
Steam.
I'll look
I
on my
wanted that.
Steam and
It's
see how long
Dokkan
I've been
Anniversary.
playing.
Can I
Three.
summon?
You want to summon for me?
Yes.
I don't know when they're coming. It should be soon. I'll check if it's up or not.
I
I
would
thought you
love
told
to
me
do that.
yesterday it was gonna be at like 3
I
in the
thought it was
morning.
supposed to be 2 in the morning. It's apparently during the night. I'll check to see if
Oh
it's,
yeah,
if it's up or not
in
now.
relatively other news while Colin's pulling that up, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid season 2's first episode just dropped.
I'm so
Yay!
excited.
I
When
have to watch
was
season
season
1.
Season 1 was
2019, 18?
No, it was way further than that. I think.
Further
Let me
than
check real-
18?
let me check
Yeah,
real
well, they
quick.
had the fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately.
right.
They did co-credit the director. What's the word? Postmortemly. Or-
Postmortem.
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 Posthumously.
Posthumously. As like giving credit for the
Oh,
work that
that's-
he did
that's
on
really
the
nice.
first episode at least. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing that.
Right.
We don't know how much
Oh, why
work
did he
did.
pass away? I guess.
In a
The,
fire.
Yeah.
somebody
Okay.
burned down Kyoto Animation
Oh,
Studio.
he passed
Yeah,
away
there
in
was like
Kyoto?
there was an
Oh,
arson
in that
attack.
attack.
I remember that. I remember that attack. yeah.
He
When
was
was
one of the
that?
people that passed the
That was
fire.
like
19?
2 years ago, right?
19?
Yeah, it was 19.
1918.
The first season was in 2017. I don't know when.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
All right.
Unfortunate fire. was.
Yeah. So yeah, because luckily everyone was well, I mean obviously, but like a lot of people were saying for a while they thought they lost all their work.
Right, I remember that.
And thankfully they did not, so they were able to put stuff out again and not start from scratch, which is I'm guessing why. I mean, they probably would have credited him regardless, but
Right.
yeah. So
But also,
a
I
lot
don't
of the
think it
people
would be
that
out and
passed-
out if they had to start from scratch.
Yeah, but it would have taken way longer to do everything, and
Right.
they had to recover somehow, and all of their work would have been lost.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is the first thing they've released since that fire, but it is, as far as I am aware, one of the bigger titles.
Like the bigger main titles.
I might be completely wrong.
Colin, you
Colin's
wanna
probably
look
looking
that
it
up?
up.
I'm looking up right now.
I might be completely wrong on that, but it is the first thing that comes to mind, at least for
Right,
Kyoto
more like
Animation since
noticeable
then.
title.
Yeah, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe there's just something I don't watch.
Right.
Free.
Oh yeah, they also do free.
Darn.
Did they-
Summon's not up yet.
Put out
Um,
something new recently?
The movie.
I'm getting Colin's
The
gonna
final
yeah.
stroke.
Oh, the final
Oh,
stroke! Wait, I thought
my
that was coming
God.
out later.
I think it already came out.
Wait, I thought you were saying it was coming out later.
No, I think it
Came
actually
out already?
came out.
Colin,
Colin,
when did the
Yeah,
final
he'll get to
stroke
it.
get released?
I think it already
what
came
was
out.
the
Stroke?
Maybe
what,
it's
what was,
soon, but I
just
thought it
pull up
already
Kyoto
came
Animation.
out.
I just got it to it now.
What was the last thing?
The last thing they did was in 2018, and it was Surunun, and
Sure.
before that was Free Dive to the Future.
And what's the newest thing that's come out since the...
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Oh really?
Okay, so
this
Final
is the
Stroke
first thing
isn't
that
out
they
Yeah,
yet.
since 2018.
No, but
All
it
right,
could've
so
come-
yeah, this is.
Oh, so
Since
when-
2018.
Since
Oh.
2018
Yeah,
was
so
when they
this
stopped.
is the first thing they've released since that fire.
Right.
The final stroke is set to come out.
Yeah, I thought it was delayed.
Between September 2021
I guess it
and
was
April
delayed
because of
2022.
Oh.
I remember you telling me that.
yeah, a lot of
did.
stuff
Yeah.
also got
Huh.
because
yeah,
they had
but-
the fire and then COVID and then
Yeah.
you know it was.
Because I think Kobayashi's Dragon Maid was supposed to also come out earlier.
I think it was also supposed to come out
But yeah,
earlier.
so I mean, COVID pushed stuff back, but yeah, this is the first thing that they've done since that fire, which
Aw.
is really sad, but also great since
Well,
they're able to start putting stuff out again. I fucking love Kyoto Animation. The shit they do is incredible.
They do a
So-
fantastic
Violet
job.
so
Evergarden.
good.
I think they also did Silent Voice. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
They did do
don't-
Violet Evergarden.
I don't believe they did.
Did they
Silent
not?
Oh, Violet Evergarden looks gorgeous.
Violet Evergarden is so pretty. It is.
Free is gorgeous.
Free is also pretty. They do great work. Everything they do is a fucking treat to look at, and I am very excited to start watching Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid again.
They
Nice.
did do a silent
I
voice.
thought
Oh,
so.
okay, I didn't
Oh,
Yeah,
the
everything
silent
they,
voice is
everything
so
they do is
good.
I've been meaning to
ungodly
watch
pretty.
that for a while.
They
that
they
movie
ever
was
say
good.
on, right?
It's on. It's
No,
on
I-
Netflix.
I've been putting it off. I know. I saw it on Netflix. I put it on my
That's
list.
why
I
I
keep telling
watched it.
myself.
Yeah, it's
Colin, they
really,
did
really good.
K-On, right?
Yes.
I think I just saw it. Yeah.
I love K-On! It took me forever to watch though. Like, not because it was bad by any means, but it was like I like burnt out on that show.
Yeah,
but, like,
because
it was
it's-
still good.
You know what's funny about K-On? It's not long, and yet
It is.
it's not though.
No, it's not, but it is. It's 25 episodes both seasons, isn't it?
But you know what it is? It's
I did that with
so
Fruits
much
Basket in,
of
like, a
nothing.
week.
No, it was 24.
K-On is-
There is so much of nothing.
It's so much of nothing.
That's
and
It
you,
was 12
you
and then
watch
24.
3
Okay.
episodes and you're like, my brain can't handle
Honestly,
anymore.
it's true. Like I was watching it a dub on
I've
Netflix,
absorbed
and even
so
still, I was
much,
like,
and yet
This is the
nothing.
music one, right?
Yes.
yeah, it's so cute. It
It's-
is very very great to look at. Like the
It's
expressions
something
they
you need
do.
to watch only in background. You cannot focus on K-On.
Yeah, like because like I said, like I have really nothing bad to say about that show at all. But it did take me a really long time to finish. It was sitting in my watching for like months, just because like she said, there's just points that like nothing's happening, and you're just watching and you're like,
What are you watching if nothing's happening?
Well, because like
It's
it's
just
them
really
performing.
cute
You're there-
girls.
You're there for the moe.
You're there
Okay.
for the cute girls, and you want to support them, and
Moe
they're
is the
doing
term
their
for
best.
cute girls. Like just cute girls doing cute
Yeah,
shit.
I was like, as soon as you said Mo, I was like,
Yeah.
I was about to explain.
Cute girls doing cute shit.
Somebody beat me to it.
hello?
And K-On! Is like a perfect example of cute girls doing cute shit.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know how to really describe
So
it.
would flip flappers be considered a moe?
partially, yeah.
Partially,
like
They are pretty
so.
cute. They do cute
but it's a
The
things.
red
different
hair girl
brand.
is drawn in a moe style.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's why she like always seems happier and more upbeat. Like
She's very
her eyes are much more like moe drawn and everything like that.
Gotcha.
Because they're bigger eyes, like they're rounded at the top.
Yeah, I
stuff
figure it's
that.
like very cutesy.
It's a
kinda-
lot more like soft angles
Yeah.
and like very
and like
squishy.
and the expressions become like chibis when they're in the background or stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
love it.
Whenever they're sad or
It's
like
adorable.
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
It's
really
literally
adorable.
moe is just cute girls doing cute shit.
Okay.
It's meant
I
to
get
be
behind
adorable.
that.
Yeah, honestly, K-On!'s great. It's really fun. Also, the music do kind of bang.
It do kind of slap.
Do
yeah,
kinda slap.
yeah, a little bit.
Hey, I'm always down for
I
a
also need to watch
slapping soundtrack.
Sound Euphonium.
Oh,
which
I need to watch that too.
I don't think it's moe.
Not in the way that K-On! Is Moe, but it's definitely cute.
Yeah,
But it's not that early 2000s brand of Moe.
Oh, that's fine. Like I just want to watch it because everyone says it's great.
Because I feel like
So.
at this point Moe's kind of phased out.
I feel like
It's
if you're
still
looking
there,
for it, yeah.
but it's not like as present.
I would
It was,
agree.
it was
It's
very
not,
present in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's
It
not.
was
It's not
a
like
thing.
it's not
Yeah.
one of the forefronts.
Right,
anymore.
right.
But it still exists. It's just not one of the big names.
Correct.
kind of like how Mecha's kind of gone a little.
Kind of like faded to the background
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
right now it's mostly just Gundam.
Isekai's been.
Isekai
like the big one.
and
So
like
many
No, I
isekais.
meant like Gundam's
Oh,
the only one doing
I'm sorry.
mecha.
Yeah, you're. I mean, like,
they're
with
not
the
the only
occasional
ones,
one.
but,
Like,
like,
you get
yeah.
like Darling
the
in the
most-
Bronx and like SSS Gridman.
Yeah.
That's a Mecha, yeah.
But like I mean like it's mostly at this point. At
Gundam
least
has
big
the
names.
most prevalent names,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
titles,
Coming
coming out.
but Isekai is definitely I think number one.
dominating
If
the
it's
scene,
not-
and
if
I
it's
wish
not
it
number
wasn't.
one.
I'm so
I mean,
over Isekai.
yeah,
I mean,
as someone who
Shield Hero comes back.
loves
I still
I mean,
haven't
I love
finished
Isekai, and I'm just like so done with it now.
It's just that burnout.
It's a big
Yeah.
burnout.
Isekai's the one where they travel
me
to
a
the
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truckun. That video I sent you on TikTok. It's just a dude in a van and he's driving. He's like when you see a kid in a tracksuit with the groceries and and then it cuts to him on the side. You see how fast he's going and he speeds up because you realize you can help him get to a new world.
That's how like 90% of the protagonists get to their new world is they get hit by a truck while they're in a tracksuit carrying groceries. I don't know why it's always that.
That's
It's-
such a
it's-
weird
it's-
trope.
it's a
Yeah,
truck.
that's such a
the thing
hyper
is-
specific
truck.
thing.
The figures that I
Summoning-
just bought, they're from an isekai.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're from the
ReZero.
fantasy world that the
Oh,
main
okay.
character Subaru goes
Who
to.
wears-
So is flip floppers an
tracksuit.
isekai?
No,
No.
because they don't.
Because they don't get forced into the world and stay like stuck.
Yeah,
there.
they're still
They
they're
just
still like
travel and
actively
stuff, too.
part of
I-
the real
is
world.
Toilet Bound Hanako-kun an isekai?
No.
No.
So
Not
Isekai's
even a
like-
little bit.
Oh for 2 here.
Isekai.
Try
Let me
again.
try
And
to explain
it
a
is
little
like,
better.
here's
so it's
the
like
very
you
selected
start in
number
our
of
world.
anime
You
I
are
know.
in literally.
Is erased in isekai?
Yeah, is erased an isekai?
You start in
The one
you
about
start-
child murder? Anyway.
Spirited Away could be considered a isekai.
There we
Even
go.
though she gets
There we
back,
go.
she does. It can be.
Yes,
considered
I
an
would.
isekai.
I would
love
say
me
that could
some
be an
Spirited
isekai.
Away.
Yeah, so that can be considered an isekai.
Yeah,
I don't
basically
think
you
most
start
people
on like
would
our version of
say
Earth,
it is,
and
but
then
it
you
can
go
be.
to
'Cause I
like
think in
generally it's a
the
fantasy
lexicon
world
now.
or something. Like
I see.
because I have a
But
soft
they're
spot
forced
for it.
into it. They're not like.
not always necessarily forced,
They
but
usually always enjoy it.
Yeah.
They usually
No, but,
like want to
but,
be
like,
there also, even though they
it's
can't
not
get
always
back.
forced, but I think nowadays it is usually more so forced. Like back in like the old days, like before isekai was the phrase for things, some people like willingly went. Digimon is a isekai.
Yeah.
Is the Chronicles of Narnia? In
Yes.
Isekai?
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
sure
Yeah.
is.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
One for three.
Digimon
That's
is
it.
also a isekai.
I've never seen Digimon.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was
What?
I was a really big
I know about
fan
Digimon, but,
of
like,
Mar
I'm a Pokemon
when I was
man.
young.
Who?
Mar?
If you're talking about Digimon, I've never watched it.
It's not Digimon.
Okay, then.
Talking about Mar, it was a manga. It was an anime.
alright.
I feel like it started airing right before Toonami stopped.
Yeah, and it
like-
was kind of bad.
Oh,
Ooh.
I
It's another one of those shows you liked as a kid and then they're not good anymore.
I
Inuyasha.
It was
refuse
bad
to-
as a kid.
I refuse to read it again because I know it's gonna be bad. But
Speaking of
I
shows-
You have the
I read
rose-tinted
it.
glasses on.
I read it when I was in kind of like a very sad place, and it was very comforting to read something. And I read it all the way through, and it was one of the first manga I read all the way through. So I have a very fond memory of it.
Which you were allowed to do.
I'm
but
sure
it
it
is
was bad.
actively
I'm
bad.
sure it was bad.
Speaking
What
of
show was
shows,
Mar. M-A-R.
I've got the first volume on the shelf.
I noticed that earlier, actually, and I was like,
I was
this
trying to find the
fucking
rest
nerd.
of it. I was looking on eBay to find the rest of it. I couldn't find a very good deal though.
Oh, R.I.P.
So speaking
Like
of,
name of
of
show?
shows that Colin loved as a kid,
Son of
Why are you
Bozu?
looking directly at
Oh
me?
no!
as you're saying that?
Oh
just-
no!
it's Son of Bozu or
Or
Desert, Punk. Oh my
Oh.
god. Okay, so he was like, I want you to watch this. He was, to be fair, he didn't say I had to watch all of it, but you know, I'm me, so I'm gonna watch all of it.
Naturally.
And he was like, I want someone else's opinion, and he goes, and I think you'd be the funniest. And I was like, all right. So one day I was like, all right, I got nothing else to watch. I'll throw it on. And my god, is it the most like 5 out of 10 show ever. and it's so weird because the main character is like a B grade asshole. He's not an A grade asshole where you're like, I don't even want to watch this. But he's like B grade to the point where you're like, I fucking hate every time you're on screen, but it's not to the point that I'm not gonna watch it. But it's just every time he was on screen, which he's the main character, so basically always,
All
you
the
just
time.
hate seeing him.
I always took it as like he's the main character, but the side character who's his later apprentice is like the better character. and
She
she's-
is great.
She's the main character.
And then there's Boobs Lady, whose only trait is that she's boobs.
Oh,
That happens a
you
lot.
gotta.
Yeah, it's about
Early
early
2000s.
2000s
Right,
anime.
you
That
gotta.
is literally it's everything an early 2000s anime
Par for the
is.
course.
I do gotta say though, like an aspect of it I really liked that drew me in was like the first 2 episodes because it's about it's a post-apocalyptic Japan, right? It's like Japan's a desert and it's like raiders everywhere. It's like Mad Max. Think Mad Max.
Right.
Less vehicles.
And less
Oh.
cool.
Less cool.
Oh.
The first 2 episodes, you see this guy in just this, like this reflective glass mask. You don't even know if he's a guy, and he's doing all this crazy stuff. He's the demon of the desert, and he's just flying around, and he's getting in the ground.
This sounds
And-
awesome.
Yeah, it seems really cool as a
It
concept.
sure
It's a good
sounds like
concept.
it is.
And
Yeah.
like in the first 2 episodes, you see him and you see this other mercenary. They're like, I always get my job done. And in the second episode, he runs to another mercenary, and he's like, I heard this guy. He takes the souls of his victims and he ruins them. And then you see the guy strip his victims naked and say, okay, go back to town. Okay, I'll shoot you if you don't go back to town. Go, go, go. And it's like, oh, I guess that's how he takes their souls.
And
it's
then
like,
they
the
immediately show them
realization,
fight,
the realization.
and them fighting is there's an entire town watching them fight, and it's just them throwing shit. At each
It's so
other.
funny though.
Behind
It's
dirt
so
mounds.
funny though.
And you're just like I get the subversion here, but God, this is not entertaining
It's
to
it's
watch.
like the story. It's like, oh, they're so high up in these stories in this post-apocalyptic world that they're these demons of the desert, and it's just these dudes who are mercenaries doing jobs. And then in the 3rd episode, you see him without his mask. You get the behind the mask reveal, and he's just a fucking kid who's an asshole who just does mercenary jobs for money because that's the only way he can survive in this post-apocalyptic world.
Right.
But he's an asshole.
And he's a punk.
He's a bit of a
the
punk.
desert.
And then me and Mike were talking about it. He's like, when did you watch this? I was like, I don't know, like freshman year of high school. It came out in 2006. He's like, the manga stopped publishing in 2020.
It literally didn't end until last
It had
year.
one season.
It started in
God.
'97, didn't end until last year.
Oh
And I was
my
like, what the
God.
fuck? So
I
me and
guess
Colin,
people
me
like
and Colin
this.
spent maybe 20 minutes trying to find like a publication history. Really weirdly hard.
Yeah.
Finally found it. It did take a break for like 4 years or something. I think it was a pretty.
It's still a really long
but like,
time.
yeah, didn't finish until last year. I literally said that to Colin, and Colin goes, "No, you're fucking with me." And then he scrolled a little more and went, "Holy shit!" And I was like,
How many volumes is it?
Not too many.
Too
I-
many.
I think it was like
It was like one volume. It was like one chapter a month. I think it was like a
Oh.
40-page chapter a month.
Okay.
but like still.
Still,
yeah.
that's insane.
Like, oh my god, I can't even imagine what that
Who was
manga
buying
covers.
it?
Apparently
Angsty
enough
teen boys.
people.
Yeah, angsty teen
Apparently
boys.
enough. Like I don't
Colin
even.
Dude,
bought
if
all
I
of
was
them.
if this was 2006 and you bought me a comic that or a manga that said Desert Punk that was about a boy just riding around the desert doing cool shit, I'd eat that up.
Yeah, why do you think I watched the whole thing like
Exactly.
immediately?
I would eat that shit up. So
Boy,
like,
is it not good anymore,
definitely
though.
It was
my
also-
demographic was buying that like manga back.
Also,
in the day.
22 volumes.
22.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
but also it's like, you know, I was like, oh, I wonder if this holds up, knowing it's probably not. And I watched the first episode, and I was like, it took less than 5 minutes for there to be a rape joke that was
Oh.
hate it.
little. It
Hate
was,
to see it.
The
It
joke
was-
is that they don't want to because she's ugly.
Oh my
It was
God.
not well done.
Because she's like,
God.
oh, please don't. And they're like, oh, no, we're not gonna. And she's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm hot. And then they're like, sorry, bye.
Yeah.
No.
It was one of those where I was like, oh.
Yeah, she gets upset that they won't
It was
do it.
5 minutes. I was
Hate
like,
that.
oh, well, I can see how this is gonna go. And
And by the way,
God.
those like it's like a little family, like a mom and dad and their kid, and their kid's always like, I want food, I'm hungry, and they show up as a running joke the entire time that the dad is just the worst, the mom's ugly, and the kid's hungry. And then like the last episode when like the credits are rolling, you just see them sitting there again, like hiding from like a gunfight, and the dad's like, I suck, and the mom's like, I'm all ugly, and she's like, it's the final episode, can I please get food now?
True comedy.
Yeah,
True comedy.
yeah, totally.
the Larry
God.
David of anime. Let me tell
I
you.
feel like that show had some good jokes throughout. But
Does it,
just,
Colin?
They
Yeah.
have a
but
lot of
just
meta.
but just surrounded by
They
a lot
have
of
a lot
not
of
so good
meta
stuff.
jokes too, and I'm like, all right, well,
A lot of meta jokes.
yeah.
Yikes.
It's.
I feel like meta jokes, there's only one of two extremes where it's really good and like on the ball, or if it's just god awful.
Yeah. There's an entire character that's based on the fact that he discovered the game of life.
Oh, I
And
love
then
that guy.
I
sells it.
weirdly thought you were gonna say the gays.
Yeah.
I
discovered the
really,
gays.
It is
I,
I.
Did
the
you
way
know
you were saying
you can have
gays,
sex
like it was
with
just a
a
little
man?
bit long. That's where I thought that was
He
ending.
discovers
just-
the game of life. And
He
since
sells
it's
the
a
gays. Oh
post-apocalyptic, like,
no.
Oh Lord.
Sorry.
Since it's a post-apocalyptic
Cancel.
world, they've never like seen board games, so he makes like a huge, super successful, like mega million corporation just on the game of life.
I remember really
Naturally.
liking that part of the story, but again, this was a decade ago.
Yeah. This show you recommended Dead Man Wonderland, which is also not good.
I told you I didn't like that.
I
one.
know. There was one other one that you also recommended that was not great.
It wasn't Nambucca. We talked about that.
Well, because that was one of them also, but I don't know. Also,
Gamers? We talked about that.
Gamers.
but also I am almost finally done with Naruto. I have
Oh.
I have technically 25 episodes, but not all of that's canon. I think I have like 16 left. Boy, do they have the entire show. Spoilers, I guess.
Who
If
cares
you
about
give a shit
Naruto?
about Naruto, you shouldn't.
Oh my.
That they build the entire show about Madara. The entire show. They're like,
Ooh.
this
I wouldn't
guy.
Say, I wouldn't say the entire show. I would
All-
say like a very
Shippuden.
good portion of the show. At least all Shippuden is kind of, and like they mention him a lot.
yeah.
He's like, oh, he took on the god of ninja. He was the only match to the god of ninja. And they do this like throughout the series. They just very slowly sprinkle it in and start to ramp it up in Shippuden.
the entire show. And then, again, spoilers. Near the end, when he finally gets all the power, he's like back alive. He's the main threat. The main character got his new god power that's gonna armor him through the victory. And his best friend that sucks, Sasuke, is shit. I don't care what your opinion is.
You're not wrong.
I think that's a universal opinion.
God, I hope so, because he's just the worst. Anyway, he also gets his god power, but the edgy one, because he's the edgy one. And then Madara gets fucking cut in half. somebody stabs him through the chest and he turns into a woman that you know nothing about except for like 2 episodes ago when they mentioned her once for 5 seconds, and now she's the main villain, and God, do I just not give a shit, because she just shows up, and I think they mentioned her like maybe 1 or 2 times before that. But
It's
like,
kind of weird.
you spend an entire show leading to one villain to then mention another one like a sprinkle.
I don't
full of
think you're
times.
doing this well enough. You do the entire show leading to one villain who turns out to not be that villain, but to be another guy, who then is revealed because that actual villain shows up, and then he's not the villain anymore, who was the main villain for 100+ chapters. Then you have that main villain, and you're like, let's do this main villain. Okay, he's the main villain. He's the guy who's been hyped. Oh no, he's gone. Here's some lady we have never heard about. She's from the moon.
Yeah,
Aren't we
Like
all?
you do.
literally, they mentioned her. I think it was more than twice. They mentioned her a couple times, but like, it not in a way that you're like,
She's not in like the back of your head.
right,
as,
like
you're-
because like the entire show is talking about Madara, and then like it turns out that like the guy that you've been following as the villain isn't Madara, he's someone else, and then Madara actually shows up. And then
Oh
you're like,
my
okay,
God.
whatever, fine. Madara
just
actually
fucking
shows up. I
lo-
guess, whatever, that's fine.
How
whatever.
messy.
Because
freaking
at-
Law and
because-
Order
yeah.
turny twisty bullshit.
Because, but
Like,
at
get the
least
fuck
like
outta
you
here.
know who Madara is because they've been talking about it. So like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, whatever. And then he turns into someone else that you've barely mentioned, that you don't care about, and it's just like, all right, I guess this is the fight now. I have I don't care about this at all. I barely cared about it to begin with. Now I really don't. I'm just watching it because I'm at the very end, and I'm not gonna stop now.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, you weren't gonna stop it.
Yeah,
at
no,
episode
you
I
weren't
wasn't
five,
stopping
so
at all
it doesn't
anyway.
matter.
Hey, imagine reading that week to week. Because
Oof.
that's what I did.
I have watched
Ugh.
almost 750 episodes of Naruto, and my God, do I hate
That's
almost every second of it.
749 too many.
Yeah.
No, I still stand by like the first couple arcs in Naruto were pretty solid for the time.
Yeah, like there are some good arcs. Sasuke still sucks back then, though. And
No, but I mean, if you
disagree.
think,
And
if you
Naruto
think
also
about
sucks.
like
yeah, thankfully they figured out that shonen protagonists can be likable.
Oh,
literally everything about Naruto is that everyone else is better than Naruto and Sasuke, the 2 main people. Also better than Sakura, because she also just does nothing. But also none of the girls do anything ever anyway, so it doesn't matter.
they just kind of exist.
Shikamaru and Itachi are the best characters, and I will be taking no questions.
I love shit.
not
I think
Kakashi.
everyone. I think everyone
nobody's
agrees with me.
disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
Nobody's
I think
disagreeing
everybody.
with
The
you.
dog, right?
No.
No,
No.
he's awful.
Not
Kiba
Kakashi?
He
Kiba
was
fucking
the one
sucks.
with the dog.
Kakashi's all like third. Kiba does nothing, and all
He's
he
the one
does
with
is
the dog.
joke about how he's
Shikamaru's
gonna.
the one that has like the fishnet top and the vest.
He's got like the
Oh,
spiky
good look.
ponytail.
It's
He
a good
does like
look.
the shadow related shit.
No.
He's just a really good character. Itachi also a great character. Also super fucking cool. Love Itachi. And then Kakashi, who's also great.
Do you like Gara?
Gara's also
Gara's
pretty
great.
good.
Yeah, I like
Rock
Gara.
Lee. Rock Lee.
Rock
one of
Lee
the
is
best
He
good.
characters
doesn't do anything,
Rock
but
Lee's
yeah.
awesome.
No, are you
Gara
kidding?
Gara
Rock
also
Lee
starts
has
losing some.
one of the best fights in the entire series.
Is that when he takes the weights off his legs?
Yes.
In the
Yes,
beginning,
that's
no, I
iconic.
Yeah,
agree,
it's
but
just
like
raw as
after
hell.
that point,
No,
he
I
doesn't
think
do
as a
much.
whole-
Unfortunate but true.
Right.
And Gara also loses a lot of his stuff afterwards. He like gets told that he does a bunch of stuff because he becomes like Hokage. or
During
whatever,
the
yeah.
time skip,
The Kazekage?
Kazekage.
Yeah, but like then he doesn't like do much. He does have a couple fights where you're like, all right, this man's still powerful, but like
He gets
it's pushed to
sidelined
the
pretty
side.
hard.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you're like you're still so cool, but you're getting pushed to the side enough that it's like it almost doesn't matter, even though you're getting.
Yeah,
the
no,
scenes.
it's like the other Sand Ninjas, like Tamari and Kankuro were super cool characters and really great concepts, and they had 2 good arcs, and then they were just thrown to the side.
It's
Literally-
almost like they had so many characters and so many plots going on that they could not figure out any sort of
Yeah, and
balance.
then even the ones that they did decide on weren't even that good. But like
They just introduced-
Tamari literally shows up at one point during the ninja war, and she's like, "Luckily, the greatest, strongest wind ninja ever is here," because like they're like, but up to that point, you have no reason to not think that.
Right.
And then literally, she says that, and out of nowhere, Naruto lands in front of her, and goes, "Yeah, no, sorry, that's me." Literally says that to her, then does like his wind move, knocks everybody out, and she goes. And just like folds up her fan and goes, "All right, well, fuck me, I guess."
And she's like, all right, I gotta
Like,
go home,
Naruto
guys.
has almost never shit talk anybody, but he decides at that moment to land in front of this girl who's trying to lead an army to battle, to fight a monster they're not gonna win, and he's like, "No, you're not the strongest. I am." And
And he says that to the only contender against Hinata for best girl, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Hinata, even though
Although
I love her,
I do
does
like
nothing,
10-10.
really.
1010 would
Also
be
does
great if
nothing.
they did literally anything with
If
her.
they did anything,
They
even
literally
one
gave-
single
they
thing
gave
with
her that
1010.
Poor girl.
They gave her that ninja fan thing, and then they took it away from her. And then the last thing that has happened with her is that the fucking like clay pot and one other thing fell on top of her, and she was like, "These are the great ninja weapons." And
So-
then she hasn't shown up since.
So 1010 is a character that was introduced, and they were like, she's an incredible weapons specialist. Her and her team have been held back 1 year so that they can be above the rest and that they can be better than everyone.
Were they held back?
And they weren't held back. They waited 1 year to take the Chunin exams.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they were a year older than the rest of the Genin.
Okay.
And then all you hear about is how she's a weapons specialist and she's amazing. And then it's like, okay, time for her to fight this girl Tamari.
And
Let's
then
go
she
to
gets knocked
no,
out.
No. Then they go to commercial break, and then they come back, and 1010 is on top of Tamari's fan, knocked out, and we do not see 1010 again.
Yeah, and that's about it.
And then she
We
shows
see
up
her
like,
a couple times,
yeah.
but she never fights.
She did like one thing where she grabbed like this great weapon, and she like uses it like once or twice, knocks a couple people out, and then immediately faints because it draws like too much energy. And then she gets it taken from her, and it's like the entire rest of the show after that, whenever she shows up, which is not often, she's just looking for those weapons again. She's
the
like,
fuck
"Oh,
is this
I want
show?
it back," and then like she never gets it.
What the
at
fuck
some
is
point.
this?
It's
show.
such a clusterfuck of like.
Incredible
Blue
ideas.
Balls the
It's
show.
it's a clusterfuck of incredible ideas that have no good
No
conclusion.
payoff at all.
They were literally like, I'm telling you, if you ever give a shit to watch Naruto and any
Don't
inclination,
do it.
just look up best fights of Naruto.
No.
That's all you
No. Watch the first couple arcs and then just be done with it.
Watch Zabuza.
Zabuza's important.
Watch
Y'all
the
are telling
first
me to
part
watch
of the
this. I'm not
Chunin
gonna watch
exams.
it.
I'm literally telling you because
I
I know
think
you're
all
not
the
gonna watch it.
Chunin
Just
exams
watch
pretty
a
solid.
compilation of the
I
best
feel
fights.
like once
Okay.
you get into the second
That'll
round
be
of
all
fights,
you
it's
need,
a little stale.
because that'll be
That's
the
fair.
greatest part of the show.
And then the Sasuke Retrieval Arc.
Oh, is that when they try to get him back from Orochimaru?
Yeah. When boys became men, that was a
I
good
know
arc.
that. I saw it when I was
It's
a
a
kid.
good
Fair
arc,
enough.
but it makes me mad.
Because
That's
Sasuke
fair.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when you just watch the fights and it's like, oh, this is great.
of
Right.
Sasuke sucking. I mean, there's
like
there's
20
so many
years.
but there's so many. But there's a point when you find out about his brother Itachi and like his real motives because he like betrayed the Leaf and like what became a rogue ninja.
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Didn't he,
wait.
like-
The Itachi versus the Jonin. That was good.
That
Yeah.
is good.
But
Yeah.
So, it's led up that he's just like a villain. He tells Sasuke, "Next time you see me, kill me. Like you're gonna be too weak to kill me. Like I'll kill you." Like that's the whole thing dynamic.
Like
whatever.
he killed his entire family.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. You
so
guys explained that. to me.
Itachi, it turns out once you at one point in the show.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoilers again
If
if
you
anyone
care.
cares. It turns out Itachi did it all for the good of the Leaf because his people were gonna rebel against the Leaf and kill them all, basically. So he kills them all. He does it all because he loves the Leaf Village so much that he will do anything to protect it. But he spared his brother because he just couldn't kill his brother.
He
does
he
every-
specifically made sure he was like, I will kill every single member of my clan, every single member of my immediate and extended family. I will not kill my brother. You will take care of my brother. This is my only rule.
Yeah, so
And
he
they
did
were like, okay, yeah,
everything
sure.
for the Leaf. And
Well,
it turns
Sasuke
out that like,
wasn't even with the clan at that point, right?
No, I mean he was
No,
with
he
the
was.
clan, but he
You're
didn't
born
know
into
about
the
the
clan.
plan. He was
I mean,
not.
like,
He was
oh,
like
he
8
was
years
out-
old.
I mean,
he
like,
was
he
out
was in the
training.
Leaf Village
He was out
anyway,
training,
right?
yeah.
But
like,
the clan
he would
is
have had nothing to do with that.
But he
The
come-
clan
no,
is
it's
part of
clan
the
itself.
Leaf Village.
Yeah,
What?
they're all part of the Uchiha. Like the Uchiha were going.
Yeah, but
to
I'm saying,
rebel.
would Sasuke have known about the plan?
No, because
he
he's
didn't,
like
but
8
he's
years
like
old.
8
it didn't
years
matter.
old.
All kids were killed because they were the Uchiha. They were going to follow the family.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Jonestown
Yeah,
drinking the Kool-Aid.
I got you.
Yeah. So, but like, it turns out he did everything for the love of the village. He has no resentment towards the village for making him do this. Like nothing. He loves the village and he's doing it all out of the good for the village and whatnot.
So he doesn't like mentally break over it.
No, like he just. By the way, he was all asked to do this at like 14. But like he has nothing but love for the village. That is, and he has done everything to protect it. That is what you learn.
Why did they make him do it?
Dude was in special ops from age 10.
Yeah, he's like
that.
really
He's
good,
like
yeah.
that talented. He was a prodigy.
Yeah, but why did they make him do it?
Because he's an Uchiha and he was like the top rank.
He
and it's
knew,
just
no,
like-
no, he knew about the plan and he
Yeah.
told the leader of the village. He told the Hokage.
And he was the strongest out of the Uchiha at the time.
And he also had more loyalty to
yeah.
the Leaf Village
He
than
also
his own clan.
he also was not the only one to do it. His best friend helped him.
Because, well, his best friend helped him by dying, and then he took his eye, which gave him better eye powers. That's to get into. But, like, regardless, point is, he did everything for the love of the Leaf. Sasuke finds this out. he finds out that all his brother wanted was to protect the leaf and make sure it was safe. Sasuke finds this out and goes, cool. I'm gonna go blow the leaf up.
Yeah,
And he go-
Sasuke's a
and
straight up
the
terrorist.
The character, the character that's telling him this goes, I mean, are you sure that's not what your brother wanted? He goes, fuck that. I'm gonna blow up the leaf.
Yeah, Sasuke's just a terrorist. He's a bad character. He's a bad person.
He's just a piece of shit. He's not interesting to watch. He's just, everything he's in is the worst. And like, he like seems like he does cool things, but he never does.
cool
And
powers.
he loses every single fight he is in. Literally. And there's jokes on the internet about how like, oh, like Sasuke's like, oh yeah, I killed like a bunch of people, and they're like, oh yeah, did you? And he's like, yeah, I killed Danzo. No, Danzo killed himself. I killed Itachi. No, Itachi died because of a illness that he let kill him before he killed you. And he's like, oh, I killed this guy. No, you didn't kill him either. And it's like, all these people that he's like, oh, I totally killed. And it's like, no, they all either killed themselves, let themselves be killed before Sasuke could do anything. He just does nothing. He sucks. He's an awful written character. He's not interesting. I hate Sasuke.
He's just so angsty
Christ, I
the
need a
whole
cigarette
time.
After this conversation, for Christ's sake.
Sasuke is just so angsty the whole time, which I think in early Naruto is fine.
It makes sense, especially with like how they introduced
He
him.
never progresses. He never learns anything.
Right, he stays stagnant. He's a
He
stagnant
never like
character throughout the
grows
entirety of
as
the
a
show.
person. He's just angst.
There's a point where
The
like
whole way.
Sakura, because she's so madly in love with him,
Yeah.
she like does so many things.
Well, they
to
end
try
up
to-
getting together and having babies,
yeah.
right?
One
He's like a
baby.
piece of shit father, you know, like whatever.
Yeah, and he's a
fucking-
deadbeat dad. Too.
Um,
Yeah,
but,
what a
like,
fucking asshole.
Literally, there were points where like she's like saving his life or whatever, and it's like even like in like the latest fucking episode, you know, there's like 20 episodes left, and like they're apparently gonna be married, and it's like she does something, and he immediately is like, let her die. I don't give a shit about her. Like, Naruto, it's you and me. We don't, whatever. Fuck them. And it's like, I hate you. Like, you're just, like, I don't give a shit about Sakura, but you're just a douche. Like,
He's just awful.
he's just the worst. The nicest thing he has done so far is Sakura was, like, about to pass out from something, and he appeared behind her and stopped her from falling. And then immediately, once she didn't fall, he was like, cool, bye, and it
Curls
disappears.
her body.
It's like leaves and she like stumbles again. And it was like, cool, all right, whatever.
This show sucks.
It does.
It does.
What? Why did you subject yourself to like a
Because
billion episodes
everybody's
of
like,
this?
you Naruto's great. Naruto's the best. And I'm like, fine.
Are we sure?
Yeah, you know how,
Hey,
you know how
look,
Eamon watched all of Evangelion to have an educated opinion about why he hates it?
Sure.
Because
yeah.
everyone was like, you just haven't watched it. You don't get it.
Yeah.
Everyone that's
So
like,
you're watching it completely out of spite.
yeah,
is
because
the-
everyone's like, it's the best. I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna have an
Your
educated
rage-
opinion
your
about
rage
why I
also-
hate
Let
it.
Let
you
me
to
explain.
watch
Look,
the
let me
show.
explain. It was really, really good when it was airing on Toonami. You're watching it week to week, and you're 10 years
That's
old.
how I watched it. That's how I
And
watched
10
it.
years old, and you're watching it week to week, and it's like, oh, this is super cool. Also, like Shonen back then was kind of just that bad. It just
Yeah, you
kind
just
of
don't
keeps
think about the
progressing
plot.
better.
For the
you-
most
once you
part,
put
yeah,
thought
it
to
wasn't
it,
great.
bad.
Once you
Yeah.
put thought to it, everything falls apart.
But also, I feel like a show like Naruto has so much cultural significance in like
well, yeah, it's the big three.
It does. You
It's
hear
one of the
it
big
in
three.
the
One of the big
view
three. What are the
of
big three?
like
The big three is
Naruto,
Naruto,
One
Bleach,
Piece, and Bleach.
no,
One
not
Piece.
One Piece.
No, it's One Piece.
no,
Is
it is One
I
Piece.
thought One Piece was early, so they didn't count it.
No, it's One
okay,
Piece.
My
Same
bad.
time.
My bad. Yeah, okay.
And it
What
started
was-
in the
because
late
Dragon
90s.
Ball isn't considered, so
What
my
about-
mind went
Oh,
to.
yeah.
what
no.
about
Yeah.
Zatch Bell?
No.
Zatch
Ugh.
Bell is amazingly bad.
Colin,
I tried
Colin.
to
The big three is
rewatching it.
because they were the biggest selling
I lo-
forever, and they
I loved
pushed
that when
anime
it was-
into like into
when it was coming out.
mainstream for the
What
time.
about Cyborg 009?
Wait,
Nope.
wait,
just
Anthony.
like not well known.
There's Conan.
Anthony, during quarantine, Colin and I were like, let's rewatch Zatch Bell.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I hated that show
I
even
got
when it
pretty.
was
I
on
got
its
What did
own
we?
arc.
We got like what, 15 episodes?
You got 15 episodes in with me. I got like 20, 22 episodes. I got through like the first story arc to
Oh.
the first big bad.
It was so offensively bad.
Yeah.
Colin and I, every time we would watch it, I'd be like, I don't think there's enough alcohol in this world. for me to stomach watching.
And
Dredge
I was on
Bell.
my third beer, and I was like, it's okay, it's okay.
It's okay. We're gonna get through this.
Two
I'm
or
gonna
eight,
do this,
nothing more,
guys.
nothing less.
Like, it's the same
I have
way.
to know how it
It's
ends.
the same way I'm gonna be like, one day I'll finish Fist of the North Star. I just fucking get there, so I
Yeah,
can
pretty much.
educatedly be like, no, this show's true. I don't think anyone's even saying it's good. I don't even know because I
So you're
I
just
thought
putting
Fist of the
yourself
North
through
Star
it.
was considered like a
okay.
classic.
Fist of the North Star
Yeah.
is
It
considered a
is, but
classic.
classics aren't always good.
Yeah, but like it's considered like it pushed a lot of things into like it made a lot of things, paved the way path. That's what I was looking for a lot of things, and like it's just one of those shows that everyone's like, it is a classic. It was the product of its time, etc., etc. And also because I have basically never interacted with any fucking community in any show or anything I interact
Yeah,
with.
as you should.
Right. I have no idea if people even are like, yeah, that's a great show. I have no idea. But boy, at 30 episodes in, 36 episodes, I'm like, God, this show fucking sucks, and I can't wait to be over.
You know, it's kind of a shame.
At
'cause it
36
has-
episodes, they just said to you, "Oh my mo."
At 36 episodes, the dub ends. Actually, I didn't even know the dub
It's
existed.
you know
until
it's kind of a
20
shame
episodes
because
in.
Fist of the North Star is like an awesome title.
It really
It
is.
is.
It's
Very
such
good
a
one.
cool title.
It's also not the actual name of the thing. Like
What's
it's
it?
a wrong title. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's
Well, I don't
it's,
give a
it's
shit, 'cause that
it's like
title
the
awesome.
localization for it isn't right. I don't think. But yeah, it is. You're right. It is rad.
By the way. So I have a question for you guys.
I can't wait to
No.
be wrong.
Changing
Colin, if
topics
you're
for a
looking it up.
second.
No.
Eat my ass, Sage. Anyway, going back to like way before we were talking about all this, like one of the first things we were talking about, you
Mark
mentioned that in Free, one guy
Free.
speaks Australian, or like he like speaks with an Australian accent, but it's clearly like a Japanese voice actor
Right.
trying to like do
It's very awful.
like
one sec-
weird
one
stuff.
second. Fist of the North Star Japanese name translates to Fist of the Big Dipper.
Thank you. Okay.
That's even
I
worse.
knew something was different.
It's worse.
I knew something was
so
different.
much worse.
Hokuto
Because
no
he
Fist
has
of-
the- because
Fist
he-
of the Ursa Major.
Because he has the Big Dipper on his chest. That's why.
Oh, that makes
Oh,
sense.
Ryan's belt.
He has
Yeah,
the big,
yeah.
yeah, he has the Big Dipper on his chest. Somebody put it in there. Like
Oh.
he gets attacked early,
Sure.
like beginning of the show, and somebody does like this fucking finger death move or whatever, and he like puts his finger through his chest and makes the
That's
Big
pretty
Dipper.
As
rad.
one
Honestly, that's
does.
pretty rad.
It's you know, it's a fucking.
Okay, as you were saying,
yeah, so I have a
Anthony?
question. So, you guys were mentioning before how there's like someone who speaks like with an Australian, or like it's clearly like a Japanese voice actor trying to like speak English or whatever.
Right.
Have you ever met anybody like that in real life?
What do you mean?
Because I sure have.
like
Yeah.
Like
Japanese,
somebody
a-
like
Like
someone
they're just
who like
talking with a
who
fake
looks
accent?
or no, who looks like. Well, all right. How do I like?
like are we
phrase
talking
All right,
like?
let me-
can't
let me
really
give you an
speak
example.
Yeah,
English
Let me-
well?
example.
let me give you my example.
Let me give you. Okay, go ahead. You first.
I knew somebody who would go. I used to play in a band, and I would go to shows all the time. And I knew somebody who would come to these shows a lot and would speak with a British accent, despite the fact that she was born and raised right here. It was
Bleep out the name.
sister.
Bleep out the
It was
name.
the sister of a friend of mine. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
It-
say
it-
it,
it
later
was-
if it matters.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Okay.
later. You don't know. I don't think you don't know her. But
Okay.
she would show up to the shows and she would start speaking with a British accent, despite the fact that she had a twin sister who was there, who was very clearly American.
Oh, I know exactly.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know which
I-
one it is, but I know
Okay,
who you're
I
talking
was
about.
thinking more so along the lines
not,
of
not
like.
not the one that was dating you.
It's
My
like-
example
I
is my
know
example's a
who it
little
is.
different.
like people that can't speak English but
No,
try.
no. Here. Let me give you my example, and maybe it'll like inform you guys. Like maybe I'll like
Sure,
communicate
gotcha.
better. So I took Italian in college, and I took it for 1 semester, and my teacher was a Japanese woman who was born in Florence, Italy, then moved to Japan, I think at like 25, and then moved back to Italy. And then to America.
What a confused woman.
I know, right? Well, it was like her. I think her dad was in like the military. Or
Oh,
something, so, like, they
okay.
were moving around a lot. But yeah. So she's a Japanese woman, and she was born in Italy, then moved to Japan, then back to Italy, and then came to America. So she is a Japanese woman, like she, she's an Asian woman who speaks with an Italian accent. So like that's what I'm.
So
that's
it
what I
just
guess I'm trying to
it's
say.
something
So
where
it's
it
like,
just seems wrong.
It's not that it's wrong. It's just that it's like I guess
don't
like
expect
out
it.
of the norm.
Yeah,
Right,
you
you
don't,
don't
something
expect
that when,
it.
you,
Expect
when the
it.
person speaks to you, you're just like, I wasn't expecting that.
When you see her and like she speaks to you, she speaks with like a very thick Italian accent. Like she sounds like my mother, or no, not my mother, my grandmother.
Okay.
Like that's how crazy it is. Like
It would be like if I spoke with a very thick Italian accent. You would
yeah,
just think it's
I guess
not
like something like that.
quite
But like, have you ever
there.
met anybody that has been like in that, like
No.
has like had that trait about them?
I mean, yeah, this girl.
Yeah, but
But
hers
she
was
was
But
not.
faking it.
speaking English,
And
But
she was
hers was
faking it.
faking.
Yeah.
and she was also faking.
Also, wait, why would she do this?
She would just, I don't know,
'Cause
she would
she's a
just
quirky
bust it
girl.
out. She just started
She's
doing
a
it.
quirky gal.
The only thing I can really think of is in high school we had our one of our language teachers knew Italian, French, Spanish, and Latin fluently. And like sometimes when she would start speaking one of the languages and then like switch back to English, like the accent would stick for a little bit. And she'd be like,
Oh, weird.
like,
Okay.
and so like
yeah.
she'd speak French, and as she spoke to English, it would be like a French
It would
accent.
like have
by
like
accident.
oh that's so
and
that's
like,
interesting.
and so like it was really funny to watch because it happened pretty frequently. And so like she'd be switching between languages, and then like sometimes the accents would get like mixed because she's just like her brain was like trying to put things together.
Yeah, if you're like switching in between like 4 different languages at once, it's
Yeah,
kinda
that's the only thing
screw
I
up
can
there a
really
little bit.
think of.
Yeah.
And she looked like she looked like Lydia.
Oh, my queen.
Yeah, she
oh
was
my
like
God,
a little
I love
like
Lydia.
a short like kind of
Oh
like
my
big
God, my
woman.
television grandmother.
Yeah.
I love her.
Which reminds me that you said that your like dad's like friend or some shit worked on that show, and I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah. All right, so let me tell this story. So for some reason, I'm very like a lot of like adjacent friends of the family have worked on like things or like TV shows that are like popular. Like my dad used to play in a band in high school and early college, and he still keeps in touch with some of them. And I think it was either the drummer or the guitarist, I don't remember which one, went on to become an animator. And he worked on The Simpsons, he worked on Family Guy, and his most recent claim to fame is that he directed the Interstellar Cable episode, or number 2 of Rick and Morty.
Oh.
He directed the second episode.
Awesome.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool, right? But one of my dad's best friends growing up, who was also named Anthony, well, his name is Antonio, but whatever. He I guess like worked in like kitchens all his life, and he became like like a chef at like and a waiter at like some pretty like high-end restaurants in the city, like Wolfgang's in the city. He was a waiter at until he eventually like kind of like worked his way up the chain until he's like now I think he's like the head of like a restaurateur company, and he like goes to Italy and teaches in like Bologna. Like
cool.
he teaches like courses over there, and like has an apartment in Houston. And he goes out to Houston and like manages a restaurant over there. So like he does
So
like
what's
a bunch
his
of
number?
It's like a what?
What?
No, just kidding. But yeah. So he does like a bunch of restaurateur stuff. So like one of the things that he did back when he was like getting his like up and coming like start and stuff like that is that he was. I want to make sure that I get this right. I can confirm like next episode we do if I don't get this right. I'll ask my dad tonight. But from what I remember, he was one of the cooks for Lydia's show, and like helped like produce that show. Not like produce in like the producer sense. Like I was a producer on like a film producer, like but a producer as in like
Food.
he like helped cook and like bought in ingredients and stuff like that. And he also worked at one of her like restaurants and like helped like write her cookbooks
Awesome.
and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So like he worked very closely with her. I unfortunately never got the chance to meet her, even though I asked him like 40 times.
I was gonna say,
"Could
so
I
like,
please meet Lydia. Like,
did he say that she was like the greatest person ever?
I don't think I ever
was really
asked her how
nice.
she was.
Oh.
I assume like
She's
like
the worst
but here's the
person
yeah. Oh my
ever.
god, I would like it would break my heart. It would actually break my heart. But like I assume like she has like kind of like a hard exterior because like that's what you kind of need when you're like in like a kitchen scenario. Because like I've worked in a kitchen. I worked in a kitchen for 5 or 6 years of my life, and like there's a lot of like I don't mean to be a dick, but I sound like a dick in this moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've known a couple chefs. and
Yeah,
stuff that-
exactly. So
yeah.
it's a lot of like screaming at
I
like
went to
people.
culinary school for 3 months. I
You
know.
did?
No, you get it.
3 months.
No, you get it.
Dropped out real quick. So.
But I'm sure like she was like pretty hard on the exterior because like running a kitchen is not like an easy like can you please get me the salt like kind of thing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like get me that fucking salt, like this order needs to go out right now. There was a lot of that, right? So I assume she has like kind of like a hard exterior, but I don't know. I hope she's nice. I mean, she seems like really nice and homey when like on the show. But if it's all a facade, I will literally have a psychotic episode if it is. So
I can't have
I will
it.
have
I can't, yeah.
I will fall into a deep psychosis if Lydia is like the worst person ever. But yeah, like I don't know, for some reason this is like I have like weird like connections like that. But apparently Lydia is like super I guess kind of cool. I mean, she looks kind of cool, so
Fair enough.
she's my girl.
Yeah, dude. Fucking love Lydia.
She's great. She's great. I used to watch her show growing up, and she would always just be like, "Well, we're just gonna put a little basil in there."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we are, aren't we? Like, this
Literally,
is
like,
great.
like she's like one of like the like hardcore memories of like when I was a kid of like my parents watching random TV and her always being on
yeah,
the TV.
her and Emerald. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude, Emerald taught me how to scream.
Yeah, we had this conversation because
Because he was always like, "Bam!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, Bam!" I love Bam, dude. There was alright. So Emerald used to. You guys know the it's like Thomas Farms English muffins.
Yeah.
Like English muffins, the regular like.
disgusting.
Oh, but you don't like bread.
I don't like
Whatever.
English
Doesn't
muffins.
matter.
Psychopath.
Yeah,
But anyway.
whatever.
I can't wait till like when we finally one day have fans, and then they can also tell her how wrong she is about her opinions on bread.
It's
but
just a
then-
waste of tummy space.
But then she's
I mean, that's
gonna also
incorrect,
find
but-
people
Yeah,
that
I mean, you're
agree
wrong.
with her.
Who agree with me.
Yeah.
and,
You are
and
literally
we're gonna
here.
ostracize
You are
all
here-
of them.
You are here with 4 Italians whose literal entire cuisine revolves
Cuisine?
around bread. Yeah, cuisine, whatever. Revolves around carbs and bread.
It's not that
Go
I don't
home.
dislike
I'm kidding.
carbs. I like carbs. I love carbs. I just
Bread
don't
is
like
carbs.
bread.
Bread is
Yeah, bread is carbs.
Bread is
all carbs.
Carbs.
Yes,
Carbs,
but I do. That's a
only bread.
specific
Like,
carb I
would
don't
get
like.
you if you didn't like certain bread because I don't like certain bread.
Yeah, I don't like rye
That's
bread.
fine.
I
I
don't
love
even
rye
really
bread.
like white bread.
That's like
that
the only
much,
bread I
but,
will
like,
Yeah,
Did
she
you just
likes
hear
the
her?
worst bread. I know.
That's
I
the
hate
only
bread.
bread I
Oh, but I
will.
love rye
That's
bread.
the only bread I'll eat because it's so thin.
We'll go to lunch. At, like at,
Okay,
You can
officer
get-
of the law.
You can get thin sliced
We'll
bread
go-
of any bread. You buy a loaf and you just fucking cut
Yeah.
it thin.
You
you
are
like
in
Texas
control of your portion.
No, because like
Why
if
don't you
if I
thinly
go to
slice
a
some
restaurant
sourdough?
and
Yeah.
get
Come on.
like go to a restaurant and get a hamburger, it's a fucking giant ass bun. I'm not trying to taste all bun. I want to taste the
you
hamburger.
taste the hamburger. It's a passage.
It's in the
for
middle of the
She'll-
buns.
I literally go to lunch with her sometimes, and like she'll have like the top part off of the sandwich and only be eating it from the bottom, and she'll be like pulling off some of the bottom part.
You're
too.
gonna give me nightmares. You are my sleep paralysis, Steven Sage.
like it'll be the like most messiest sandwich, and she'll be like, I'm just gonna pull the top off and let all the everything spill.
Oh
out.
my god! Are you the kind
I
of person?
get you for like a burger because like that's pretty in place, but like if you did that with other shit, that was gonna like get
No,
all
I try
over
to
the-
do
no,
it mainly
can't.
with things that like stay nice.
Okay.
Are you the
that's
kind
not
of person
bad.
that like takes a piece of pizza and you're just like, ooh, a piece of pizza, and then you take a napkin and you dab it?
No, absolutely
I
not.
Are you
do
that kind of
that.
person? Do you do that?
Not always. Like just if it's
No,
like out of control.
No, if it's
if it's like
no, it's absolutely justified if like literally you get the pizza
If
and
it's
it's more
all
oil
fucking
than bread.
greasy,
Yeah.
If
yeah,
it's-
but-
if
Just
it's
got
more
out of the
oil than-
shower.
Yeah, if it looks like it just.
If it's a regular ass slice of pizza, I'm not gonna
Okay,
dab
no,
it.
Like
no,
if the
do
guy at
that.
the pizza place was just like, oh wow, what a perfectly good pizza pie. Here's an entire thing of extra virgin olive oil. Let me just slather that shit on real quick.
Well, so hold
Like
on.
that's understandable.
Do you feel like that would be on the same level of people that like when they get pizza, their default is knife and fork?
Oh no, those people are serial killers. Like straight up.
Only-
You ever see the movie Get Out?
only
You guys
if
ever
it's
seen the
super
movie Get
hot.
Out?
They're knife and fork people.
No.
No, if it's super hot.
If you eat
Spoilers,
with knife
just
and
in
fork,
case.
if you eat with knife and fork, that's the same energy as like when the girl in Get Out is like taking singular
the
pieces
cereal
of cereal
with the milk
dunking
on
it
the
in
side?
the milk and eating it,
and then drinks the milk.
and then drinks the milk. That's the same energy.
Yeah.
Right there.
No.
Absolutely.
If the slice is so hot and I don't feel like burning my mouth, which to be fair is 1% of
You're
the time because I
still
always
putting
burn
No, I
my
wait.
mouth.
I still wait.
same
See,
thing
no, I
that's
wait.
hot
I'll
This
cut
is
the
in
tip,
your
newfangled.
mouth.
I'll blow it on
It's-
it, and I'll eat it. And I'll
You
get, like,
can just-
halfway. I'll get
No.
halfway through the slice,
Colin,
and
no,
then I'll
it's ready.
pick
I
it
wanna
up.
blow your
only
guys'
time-
mind.
I'll pick
the
it up.
I want to blow
only
your guys'
time
mind real quick.
I
You ready
think
for
it's
this?
acceptable to eat pizza with a knife and fork is when you're 5 years old.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna blow
I'm
your guys'
standing
mind.
by
Still
it.
no.
I'm gonna
Standing
blow your
by
mind. I'm
it.
gonna blow
Yes,
your mind.
Anthony.
Colin, there's this beautiful thing called the concept of time, where as enough of it passes, the pizza will get colder, and then you can eat it like a normal
Yes,
human
but
being.
Colin has a
Also,
monkey
also
brain.
a great
He
thing
wants
called,
that pizza
it's
now.
called wind or
Monkey.
breath that you could just fucking blow on the
No,
goddamn
doesn't-
pizza.
It doesn't
No.
matter.
It needs to be
If
smaller
you-
so the
no,
surface
you
area is
don't have
smaller
to-
so it cools down
no.
quicker. And I will not wait. My pizza's out. I will eat it. It is pizza.
Colin,
It's in
Colin,
front of me. It
Colin,
goes in my
Colin,
mouth.
Colin, you know what
Colin.
you can do? You can take the slice on the plate, right? You can
Yeah.
hold the plate because you know you're not
do that
holding the
sometimes.
slice. You can just push it forward, so there's a little bit off at the edge. You blow on it, and then you can eat it. If you
I do
really
that
need
sometimes,
to eat it
but sometimes
immediately,
I'm also
you don't
just
need to
lazy
get a
and I
fucking
get
fork and
like
knife
fork
and
and
start
knife.
cutting it.
Back when I was a kid, like when you get like fucking Elio's or like pizza
Ooh,
bagels,
I loved Elio's.
and that shit comes out of the oven, I'm just like, fuck it, in my mouth
No,
right
you
now.
just-
No
yeah,
fucking
No,
cool.
look, I constantly burn my mouth because I just eat the pizza. I don't do the fork and knife often, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like having
You
the
people have
skin of my
refrigerators.
roof burned.
Put it in the refrigerator for like
I'm
5
not
seconds.
psychopath.
You're
Pizza.
gonna tell me
That's
you're
not
getting a
pizza.
fresh.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Eating
hold
meat
on,
and
hold
pizza,
on,
not
hold
at
on.
the pizzeria
You're gonna tell me
90%
you're
of the
gonna get
time?
a fresh ass pizza delivered to your house or
And
from
put it
the
in
oven,
your
and
fridge.
you're like, oh, this is too hot. Let me put it back in my refrigerator to cool
I'm
down.
just saying for like 30 seconds.
No,
Put it in the
that won't
fridge,
do anything.
Give it a little chill, and then consume. That's all
No,
I'm
because
saying.
you know
Do
what's
you
wrong with that?
take-
No. You know what's wrong with that? If you go in, you do that.
Yeah.
The outside is gonna have this weird coldness, but it's still
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
burning hot cheese. So like, it's gonna be. You're still no. It's stupid.
No,
You guys want to
no.
get pizza? You want to get pizza after this?
I actually do. I'm really
I would
hungry.
grab a slice.
starving.
Yeah,
Straight up
thank
starving.
you.
There's a
I'll
place
not
down the
eat
road.
dinner.
They might still be. I'll check.
Yeah, I'd grab a slice.
I have Chinese food.
Anyway.
For me.
Ooh.
What were we talking about? Oh, Lydia.
Oh yeah, Lydia.
No, Emerald. Oh yeah, so the
Emerald,
Thomas English
bam.
muffins. So the Thomas English muffins, right?
Disgusting.
Wow, that was
So-
a hardcore tangent.
No. Well, yeah, right. So we used to get these Thomas English muffins, and they always had Emerald on them because Emerald was always like. So I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. So I took it, and it was like, one of the thing on like there was like an ad for like Emerald's show or whatever, or like he had like a partnership with like Thomas's English muffins or whatever, some shit. Who cares? So one day I go downstairs into like my second kitchen because I'm Italian. We all have 2 kitchens, and I take the thing out of like the pantry, and I'm like, oh, English muffins. This would go great with some jelly. So I like take it out, I open it up, I put it in, and I'm just kind of like waiting for like the toaster. I didn't have my phone on me, so I'm just like, why don't I be an asshole and read the nutrition facts of the Thomas English muffins thing? I turn it around, and there's a gigantic like picture of Emerald that says, "Your mom's gonna love me."
Emerald. Moms
So I'm like-
love them.
I'm like, Emerald.
Moms
No,
love
she's
'em.
not. She loves my daddy.
She loves my daddy.
She loves my daddy. So like literally, like it was like the most like whiplash like I've ever experienced in my life, right? Like I'm like reading the thing, I'm like, oh yeah, Thomas English muffins, they're bread, and then I turn it around, and it's fucking Emerald just. It's like, your mom's gonna love me, and I'm like, is she? Like,
It should have just been him and just, I'm gonna fuck your mom.
literally, it would have been less of a shock.
I fucked
It
your
would have
mom.
been
She
less of a
lives.
shock.
It's one of those visual gags where you're like, your mom's gonna love me, and you're like, look away for a second, you look back, and your mom's in the picture with
Yeah,
him.
mom's in the picture, like arm around her, like, your mom's gonna love me. She's right here. And I go upstairs, I'm like, Mom? There's like an open book on the bed, and like her glasses are on the thing. I'm like, oh shit, like she's gone. Like,
Emerald
oh
took
my
her.
God.
You
Emerald
look back,
took her.
they're both gone from
Yeah.
the fucking picture.
Yeah, there's like slippers on the side of her bed, like socks, or like with the slippers.
There's a doorknob with a sock on it.
Yeah,
Hello, 911. Emerald
Oh,
took
God.
my mom. I don't know what's happened.
I think Emerald's fucking my mom.
Is that why he says "bam" all the time? Like, oh my god.
Do you
That's
think
why you're here in the
Wait,
middle
do
of
you
the night.
think
Bam,
he comes and says
bam.
bam?
I hope so.
I
If
hope so.
if
No,
he
every-
doesn't, that's a
it's-
waste.
I'm gonna start.
You know he has at least once in his life.
Oh, definitely.
100 billion %.
Definitely.
Somebody,
He's gonna be like,
somebody,
Or some bitch has asked him to do
Yeah,
it.
oh,
no,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
100%.
definitely asked
No,
if
do
he
you
never
think
did
That's
that.
somebody's king,
Do you
yeah.
think do you think when he's bedding a fine honey, right? Like they're
Bedding
they're
a
going at it,
fine
they're going at
honey.
it, and she's like, "Are you gonna say bam?" He's like,
Yeah.
What
he's
is
like,
All of
"Oh
these women, they always
my
just want me to
God."
say bam.
Immediately loses
I just
it.
want
It's like,
Direction.
one normal cock. Just one.
No one ever asked what
He's never
Emerald
had it.
wants.
Yeah, no one ever asks what Emerald wants. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Yeah, he
no.
shows up on set the next day. He's like, "Let's just fucking do this. Let's just get this shit over with. My night was ruined last night." And he's like, and everybody in the audience is like, "Say the bam, say the bam." And he's like 1 inch away from like absolutely just like massacring someone. Like he's like 1 step, like Killing Joke, like one bad day. Like
He's got a
whatever.
Glock under the counter, just for whenever he needs it.
He's like, it's for when he's like, it's for
One
when
day.
ISIS comes in. And
One day.
they attack the set.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
We've really covered a whole.
A variety of topics.
Tonight was interesting.
Oh, tonight was fun.
That was
I,
fun.
I
That
did
was
like
very
the
fun.
Final Fantasy talk though. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about Final Fantasy whenever. I love that series.
I'll talk
I
about
want to play
Prompto
more
and
Final
Noctis
Fantasy. I've really
all
only
the
played
time.
7.
I'll share my opinions on Emerald anytime. Let me tell you, your mom's gonna love me. Let me tell you.
Has we got a couple minutes left. Has anyone watched But I know you're watching Loki and you have. Are either of you
Yes.
watching Loki?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
But
haven't
just-
seen the most
I'm on
recent
like
Okay, episode
a
came out
Marvel
today?
fatigue
Five.
right now.
Oh, five came out
All right,
today.
well,
I haven't watched
so I'll
it
watch
yet.
that. But like, just general thoughts. What do you guys think?
If I'm being real, dude, I think it's like so right now. I think WandaVision's the best out of like the Marvel shows right now. But
Okay.
if I'm being real, like Loki's like encroaching on it.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah,
like,
I
Loki
think
is actually
I
phenomenal.
might like Loki a
Loki
little
is-
more.
Loki,
I saw
Loki,
it.
Loki's pretty phenomenal.
I think I might like Loki a little more. I'm not sure. It really depends on how this ending goes.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
think
somebody.
5 and 6 need
Well,
to-
actually, it got renewed for a second season.
it
Oh,
did.
did
It
it?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it got
did.
confirmed. Or
It's
at
shooting
least.
early next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'm all down for more Tom Hiddleston.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, if they just like did like a case of the week kind of thing, where like Loki is like in charge of the TVA and like goes on like random adventures through time, that's like gold right there.
If it's Tom
like if they
Hiddleston
did like
and
time traveling
Sil-
X Files,
Sylvie?
that'd be rad as hell.
Sylvie.
Sylvie?
Sylvie.
Like, if it's the two of them just going around, all about
Dude,
it.
if it's the two of them going around like time travel and X Files, that'd be awesome as hell. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it a whole lot.
Yeah.
I did see somebody today say that it overtook like WandaVision in their opinion. I'm like, okay, so we're getting.
It's
yeah,
getting
yeah,
there,
I
man.
think
It's
I think
really
it, I
good.
think it
Very
is
good.
currently. It depends on how it sticks it for me.
I think I need to rewatch WandaVision and then rewatch this all in one go to get like a full opinion on that.
I'm
I think
so
if-
bummed that it's not Falcon and Winter Soldier, but like, the fight choreography in that goddamn show aggravates.
Not for
me
nothing,
so
but the fight
much.
choreography in Loki's pretty dog ass.
It's not
too.
great, but like that.
But-
But,
It's
but
less
like,
of an
that's
action
fine.
show.
Like, you know, because like it's not fine. I mean, I still want fight choreography to be good, but like
Doesn't
I'm
bother you as
expecting
much?
it to be good in Falcon and Winter Soldier because that is
Right,
what they
that is-
are.
that is- yeah,
And
exactly.
we only got one good fight, which granted it was with Sharon. I'm all about it, but like
Oh yeah, the
like when
the
in
shipyard fight.
Yeah, because
that
it doesn't
was
because it
really
doesn't
good.
cut every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like. I have so many things to say about fight choreography in general. Like
Are
it's
they
just
not
one of my passions.
doing their own? And is that the problem and why it keeps cutting?
No, because even if you have doubles, it's just like
I think they're
They-
doing
they-
it to
they-
hide the fact that they can't fight.
yeah, but like
That's what I think it is.
It's also
Yeah, but why don't they just
Marvel
get
does it a
doubles
lot.
then?
Like it's just Marvel how they do fight scenes. It is very rare that they don't do it. They cut a lot because the directors don't know how to like direct for fights, so then they just get a bunch of shots and cut between them, or the like stunt coordinator and team didn't get enough time to be able to like figure it out like completely, and so thus like it just kind of they have to make it work. Or sometimes actors will like say that they want to be in it and they really can't
Well, that's
sell
the thing,
it.
too, like, what's weird too is like that Marvel hires directors that are like, I think no, maybe not DC actually, but Marvel hires directors that are like indie darling directors. Like usually how it goes, how I see it at least, is that like a director will make like an indie darling movie that's like critically acclaimed, will like win Sundance or whatever, like any other like random like film festival or whatever, and then they'll call them up and be like, hey, do you want to make a superhero movie for us? And they'll be like, fucking of course I do, because like I'm just starting out and like directing a big tentpole franchise film would be like the biggest thing for my career ever.
Right.
And
Because
that
if you
check.
what
And that check.
and that check
Yeah.
too. But like if you look at Marvel directors, you'll see that like a lot of them only like did comedy. Like Anthony and Joe Russo did a lot of Arrested Development and Community.
Yeah.
Peyton Reed, the guy who, or Peyton Reed, or
Yeah, that's his name.
the guy who did Ant-Man, did a
Yes.
lot of comedy before that. Chloe Zhao only did like art films before this, like Nomadland and The Rider. Two phenomenal films, by the way, live studio audience. You should watch those. But Chloe Zhao only did like art house films before that like are completely out of like Marvel stylistic wheelhouse. Like she
Right.
only did like natural light, like documentary cinema verite style, like super out
She's
of
the one
like a
doing
Marvel.
Eternals, right?
She's the one doing
Yeah,
Eternals,
okay.
yeah. So, point being is like they have all these like directors who are like completely out of like the action genre wheelhouse, which is why I'd really like to see like a director who's like firmly planted in act. Like even like Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson, the guy who did Doctor Strange, only did horror movies before
Like
that.
I mean, I'm not. I think you can have a good movie with good fight scenes with a director that's never done it, but you have
have to have a
you
good
have
team
to you
behind
have to
them.
trust your stunt coordinators to do
Oh,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's the issue. Like, and I'm not saying that the directors don't or that they you know I'm sure that there's budget reasons, time restraints, everything that affects stunts almost always.
Yeah.
But like,
or just general filmmaking.
yeah. But like, sometimes you just gotta let a stunt coordinator do what he's trying to do, and
Yeah.
and like, and I mean, a lot of directors don't do it but like, it's just they know what they're doing. So like, if they're fighting a scene, just like I don't know. I wish that like
Well, I
either
think a
they
lot of
get
it-
better stunt coordinators or I mean I think I know the name of the stunt coordinator, the guy that did the stunt coordination for Falcon and Winter Soldier, but it's not coming to me. And I'm pretty
Sam
sure
Hargrave?
he's great.
Sam Hargrave?
Maybe
Because he just got his own movie with Chris Hemsworth.
because
He did
I
Extraction.
know he does great shit and like. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not.
I don't
If
think
you
you
don't
can-
know how to if you don't know how to direct fight scenes, go to your stunt team and just let them tell you how to.
Here's
do
the
it.
thing, right? Because it's a well-oiled machine at that point. Because stunt coordinators, sure, like yeah, they obviously know how to fight. They can map out the choreography, but it's up to the director, the cinematographer, and the editor to actually make sure that we
Yeah.
are, as the audience, are seeing these things.
Well, stunt coordinators know how to set a fight for the shots, as long as they're told the shots beforehand.
Yeah,
Like,
but again, like
that's
the
why a
director,
lot of stunt coordinators
the director
that become
controls
directors
how
are
it,
great.
the director controls how it looks
No,
in the
yes,
editing room.
that,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
I know that like it's all comes to like certain things, and like I'm saying it like it's easy. I know it's not. It's
Oh, yeah.
not nothing simple ever in the film industry.
Yeah.
But like. There's a reason why like a lot of stunt coordinators become great directors, like the guy that makes John Wick, whose name is escaping me currently.
Chad Stileski.
Yes.
And David Leitch.
Yes.
But David Leitch only did the first.
Yeah,
one.
but
David Leitch made Atomic Blonde, which I mean
yeah.
that movie whips
and
like,
like
real hard.
it's just like they know what they're doing. It's just when they become directors. And again, I've been saying I don't remember people's names right now, but I'm just blanking so hard on other stunt coordinators' names that I like have become directors that also did really good shit.
Yeah.
There was the one movie that I believe Chris Hemsworth is in on Netflix. It
Extraction.
Was like
I was just saying,
Yeah.
Sam Hargrave.
yeah. Because
Dude,
overall
the
the
fucking
movie,
Wunner
yeah,
in that,
overall
oh my God,
the people were
Wunner
like,
in that
yeah.
movie.
because
Oh my
overall
God.
people were like the movie's but the Wunner everybody talked about.
I literally
forever.
like stood up and I was like, how the fuck did they do that? Like I literally said out loud, I was like, how did they do that?
So good.
I had to watch the behind the scenes making of it because like the shit they pulled off in that take.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Anyways.
At least the comedy, the story, and the visuals for Loki have been pretty.
Oh yeah,
damn
top
excellent.
tier.
Top
I was
tier.
saying before, like I think like the production design is really where like WandaVision and Loki can really go neck and neck because WandaVision's production design is immaculate and
Yeah.
so is Loki's. Like the TVA itself, how it's like that like 70s retro like
Yeah.
bureaucratic like type vibe
Yeah.
that whole thing is going on is like absolutely phenomenal. Anyways,
Let's
Guess
cut
we
so
wrap
we
it
can
up there.
we
Yeah.
can get that food and I can watch that episode before I pass out tonight.
for true.
I
Oh,
thought we were
yeah,
playing
right
Beat
before-
Saber.
You want to play Beat Saber?
Right before we completely wrap up and start saying goodbyes, your show, just a reminder.
Oh yeah. So for Anime Club, we are watching Kaguya-sama: Love Is War. We're just gonna be watching the first season, and yeah, I'm very excited for you guys to watch this. It's really funny.
What's
really
it
fun
on
and cute.
again?
It's on Funimation.
Okay.
sick.
I think there might be part of it on Hulu. I don't know
Possibly,
if they took
but
it
it
off.
is on Funimation. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on anything that's not Spotify. If you're on Spotify, just please watch us anyway.
Just listen, yeah.
Just
Fine,
let us know
yeah.
that you
Take a
listen to
listen.
us.
Yeah, if you want to reach us, we, give our handles in the description and everything. Yeah.
Tweet
Thanks
at
for
Mike.
watching.
Yeah, tweet at
Mike
Mike.
Yeah,
will reply to everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
Just,
Yeah, only
tell me
tweet
about
at
how
Mike.
I'm wrong about
Spam
Naruto,
Mike.
and I will ignore you or just tell you that you're also wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yay.
Sick man.